I want to know where did we make that wrong turn? But you didn't though. That's the funny thing. It's just a moment, bro. Sometimes moments are long. Sometimes moments are long, but you don't realize it. But you don't realize once you get over this moment, it's gonna be so much better. You're gonna be so happy. So you just need to fight through it, bro. Yeah, but that's dumb, bro. Look how much shit you done and how much things you work for. What's the point of throwing away for somebody, bro? Come on, bro. That's dumb. You I know, bro, but we all we have our moments when we're not happy. Man. You think I'm happy right now? No, I'm content, but I'm not happy. Think I'm living in I'm in my parents' basement paying rent when I can have my own spot paying rent or owning. Like, no, I gotta get my shit together, bro. I'm not happy. Yeah, I know, because that's different. You and your mom had a different kind of relationship. She wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? It's different. You got both your parents. It's always gonna be different. Nigga show us a death. It's crazy. So what do I have? I know you hate this Sammy Sosa thing, but reading all these things and realizing what he did because we was a lot younger, he's insane, huh? Oh, damn. Nigga, nobody can get the card. Nobody got him yet, bro. All I know is I went off. I went off. I went off. Nah, I went off, Sean. I'm already level 25. I'm trying to get to this. You know what? I'm going over on this nigga Derek Jeter today. I can't live without this card, Sean. They said, nigga, this is 1998 Derek Jeter. This is when he was Wildin' McStalin, bro. This is his first All Star. Yeah. What happened? I'm here. Nigga said everybody gotta go. Nigga said I don't got time for y'all shit. It's been, huh? But you forgot you was doing something? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You gotta eat, buddy. You gotta eat and drink some water. Bro, go outside, nigga. Come on, Sean. You got a car. Don't do that, bro. Or, or, or DoorDash, Uber Eats. You have options. You can look on Uber Eats and they deliver you something good.
Yeah, the pitch is in for a strike, and it's 0-1.
Nigga, you know what I be doing on Uber on DoorDash sometimes? You gonna laugh. Like I be ordering IHOP, eating pancakes in
That's
the
hard down
crib.
in the line. Carroll makes the catch, and that'll do it.
We ain't gonna IHOP in a minute, so we gotta go to IHOP
Now
one
it's
of these
Marcus
days.
Semien. He's already homered
You hear
in this
me?
game.
We gotta go IHOP one of these days. We haven't been there in a minute.
Yeah, big swing and a
I want to
miss.
go over there. It's,
Fastball
that,
strikes by him, gives
that's
him
what
a
you
little
don't realize.
confidence, but in the back of your mind, you got to think, is he trying to set me up for later in this at bat?
That's the third, and
I
foul
hope you know,
ball.
like that energy over there is not good. I don't really like to be over there
Two
like that. It's like
outs. On the
you're not
ground
your
in the
full
back of the
self. You never could be happy. I
ballpark,
don't like that shit,
just
bro.
foul.
It always feels like it's fake. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm here,
Swings a
bro.
two-strike pitch, and he'll see another.
And it's not. I don't dislike Kiki. I
This
just
one
feel like y'all
popped
not
up,
happy, bro.
foul
That shit's
ground
just
first
toxic
base side.
at this point.
Walker right there to make the
You know what I'm
grab,
saying?
and that is the sole runner at third, two outs. Here is Marcus Semien. Drilled out towards left center field. That's well struck. And it one hops the wall. Runner from third comes across, and they're up by 4. He's in with a double, and that's his second double of the night.
You know, I know my hitting's getting better, Sean.
Third, 2 men out. Now it's Marcus Semien.
You know, I know my hitting is getting better because my pitching is getting worse.
Two outs and a runner at third. Here at the top of the ninth.
But my worst isn't bad. You already know that.
That one not close. And the count is 1-1. This one popped up, middle of the infield. Lawler nabs it, and that'll do it. Here is Marcus Semien. Swing and a ground ball. Boots it. In comes the runner from third, and they're up by 4.
Get a drink, Sean. Get a drink.
Now it's Marcus Semien.
I told you you didn't order a drink, bro.
Late on that
Oh, that's
fastball.
nothing wrong with that.
It normally does damage on that pitch in that location. Just a swing and a miss there. Don't think you want to throw it again, though.
Ripped to third, but handled, and that'll end the inning. Sole runner at third, 2 outs. Now it's the second baseman, Marcus Semien.
Yeah, get out, bro. I'm Sean. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I love you, bro. And I know, like you can handle a lot, but I can tell that shit really getting to you, bro. You have to get out of that. Actually, you gotta get out of that situation because every time I talk to you, you sound more and more sad, bro. It's not. We're too young for that, bro. That's what people do, bro. It's trauma, man. You just gotta get out. You can't really,
See if he can go upstairs.
bro. It's like this, Sean. If somebody gets raped, they sometimes they start raping people, bro. You know that? I said sometimes when somebody does something to somebody, they start doing the same thing to somebody else afterwards because it's trauma, bro.
make sure you miss up and
Mm-hmm.
out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you get hurt.
And a pop-up, right side, foul territory. Walker has room, and he
Mm.
makes the... Solo runner at third, 2 men out. Here is Marcus Semien. And first offering is fouled off.
Let's see him go through that shit either. What they said.
To short, Perdomo. Now the throw to first on the run. And it beats him. What a play. Solo runner at third, 2 outs. Now it's Marcus Semien. First offering, and it just misses.
That's a good pitch there. Really had some run and finished a little up and in just on the edge. And that's one of those, if you swing at it, you had a broken bat as you jog back to the dugout.
1-1.
Not at all. You gotta be on point at your job.
Strike 2.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you can get hurt.
That ball's foul.
I do too, but I love it.
2 outs. Up the middle. Lays out, but he can't squeeze it.
Oh my goodness.
It's an RBI single, and they're up by 4.
That's crazy.
Here is Marcus Semien.
Mm-hmm.
Counts 1-0.
You gotta eat. You gotta wait till that food comes. Once you eat, the kid said, I need some sage melon. Maybe I relax.
And that is that. Solo runner at third.
That's why if you smoke, you're not gonna be around her. It's a fact. Take bleach. Come on, man. You got it.
In the on-deck circle, you really want to use that opportunity to see some
No,
pitches
bro.
and time
Sean,
with the
shut up,
fastball.
bro.
Last thing you want to do is miss a good hittable fastball.
Base hit knocks
Shut
down
your
a
ass,
run.
bro.
Solo runner at third, 2 outs. And now, Marcus Semien. And a swing and a miss.
Just a bit tardy there. Not sure if he had a hard time picking it up out of the hand or
So,
if he was sitting off speed.
Hines
looking
on
nice.
third with 2 outs.
Oh. You know you can lower it down.
Line drive. Gurriel handles the chance, and that'll do it.
Like I said, I go to a
Solo
park right
runner
now
at
and
third,
just shoot
2
my
men out.
pain away.
Here is Marcus Semien.
Kobe. I'm talking all this shit about I can hit my nigga. I've been on this mission for mad long. I told myself I'm gonna go get something to drink when I finish this mission. And I'm about to die of thirst fucking with this shit.
Marte tosses to first. And
You know, sometimes you come back on the game and you do not have it. You just gotta battle through.
Solo runner at third, 2 outs. Now it's Marcus Semien. Headed towards the corner. Carroll makes the play, and that'll do it. Here is Marcus Semien.
That's a ball. 1-0.
Up the middle, Marte jumps, throws, in time, got him, and that'll do. Now it's Marcus Simeon.
The count.
Next offering is downstairs. Just off the inside edge. Gets him to chase after that one.
Big time GM right there. I hate it as a hitter, but standing in center field.
I know I'm hitting bad when I start swinging that dumb shit.
Spoils that one, and it remains 2-2.
I said I know I'm hitting back when I start swinging that dumb shit.
Here at the top of the ninth.
Like when I'm hitting good, I'm locked in.
That misses the zone. Full count now.
He really committed to that fastball up at the top of the zone.
Oh yeah, that's how you feel. Okay, bitch.
It gets hit hard by a power guy.
Cut on and miss. Struck him out. Here is Marcus Simeon.
Ball one, no strikes.
The 1-0. The other way. And that is that. Now it's Marcus Simeon. Heim on third with 2 out.
What?
Swing and a miss as he was late.
I think he was sitting on.
Yeah.
Down the line. And that will drop
Oh,
foul.
shit.
And the pitch. Swing and a chopper out to short. On the run, sent it over to first. Got him. A beautiful play.
This is why you continue to play baseball, because the hatred, I'm telling you.
Third, 2 men out. Here is Marcus Simeon. Ripped on a line to center.
What's up with it?
Sole runner at third.
What song was it?
Simeon now at the plate. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. That one pushed foul. Two outs. That one hit to right. He makes the grab, and that is that. Now it's Marcus Simeon.
Number 2, second baseman, Marcus Simeon.
And first offering is fouled off.
My tracking is elite, though. I'm not going to lie.
2 outs.
My tracking is elite.
Foul territory for the catcher. He's there. He's got it. And that'll do it. Here is Marcus Simeon. That one ripped. And foul ball. Hard hit left side. Jump throw across his body.
Depends what division.
And that's a nice play to end the inning.
I don't know what you're talking about, Sean. There's so many different things online, bro. I don't know. Like, you're so general right now. You're talking about the weekend league. You're talking about...
Now it's Marcus
Up
Simeon.
next for the Rangers, the second baseman, Marcus
I don't know.
Simeon.
I said, I don't know what you're talking about.
Pop foul out of play off to the right. Heim at at third with 2
Like, what
away.
do you mean online? You're confusing me. Like, what do you mean?
Late on that fastball.
Hey, just do that fastball by
You
him.
talking about Battle Royal, bro?
You're not looking up in that location. Very difficult to catch.
I didn't play ranked before. No, sure, I was fuck that. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm confused right now. What elite card? What do you talking about the multiplayer
2
program?
outs. Up the middle. Nice grab. Throws from his knees. And that's a great play for the out.
No, I didn't play last year, son. Oh, I don't know. That's cool. I wish we had that still too. I can't remember for some reason right now.
So a runner at third, 2 men out. Here's the second baseman, Marcus Semien. He's already homered here in this one. Ball 1, no strikes. That's a base hit as a run scores. Here is Marcus Semien. Fought off foul.
Mm-hmm.
That one misses, and it's 1-1.
That's what's up.
And he hits a ground ball right side. Marte throws to first in time. And Semien it. So a runner at third.
That's why they have the capture on.
Now it's Marcus Semien. Now a screamer into the outfield. Gurriel handles the chance, and that'll do it. So a runner at third, 2 men out. Now it's the second baseman, Marcus Semien. He's already homered in this game. Swing and a ball lifted in the air. Nice grab on the run. And
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. When I can see. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Here is Marcus Semien.
So a tough day at the plate. 3
Anything.
strikeouts already. It's hard not to think negative, but you got to find a way to somehow center up the baseball and put it in play.
Liner, base hit. The run scores from third, and they're up by 4. So a runner at third, 2 outs. And now it's the Rangers' leadoff hitter, Marcus Semien. Swinging a foul straight back. Swing and a miss, and he struck him. So a runner at third, 2 men out. Now it's Marcus Semien. Hammered down the right side, but foul.
29.
That one almost got him.
Strike.
See if you can go upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss up and out of the zone since you're heading to count 1-2. Don't miss in the zone because that's where you can get hurt.
Foul ball still, 1-2 count.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Strike 3 went back to the sweep. So a runner at third, 2 outs. Here is Marcus Semien. On the ground, right side, Marte. And that is that. So a runner at third, 2 men out. Now it's Marcus Semien.
Yeah.
That one's upstairs, ball 1.
Way to lay off that fastball up right there. You're looking for something you see well that you can handle, but you also have to keep the discipline so that you're not popping.
I got that. I'm going to the bathroom. Yes, yes. Let's see. Why are you laughing? I would say yes. Oh, you laughing at me about to say I said yes, yes, 'cause it's time to eat. Oh, I wasn't even playing. I was talking about my food. I realized that some people have natural talent, like this nigga Carlos, nigga. I think, and I believe in beginning. I began, bro. So he played right. He was winning on. I put it on veteran or something. He was winning. He's like, oh, this is too easy. So I tried to be a dickhead and put it on GOAT against the Dodgers, right? The nigga was winning. Beginner's luck. Yeah. Oh, cause he's Spanish. That's mad funny, bro. No, the reason why he good is because he used to play baseball in real life back when he was younger. Yo, let me get you mad real quick. This is what I'm gonna eat you. This is how disrespectful I am. So listen to this. You ready? Huh? We talking about? No, I'm watching about the Mets is fucking up. You don't hear TV? Yeah. How does that make you feel? How it make you feel? Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah.
Cohen reportedly grew so frustrated that he bluntly asked, "Why are we even having this meeting? It sounds like you're coming up with a lot of reasons why you don't want to come to our team." When Soto and his team left, Cohen turned to Mets GM David Stearns and said he's going back to the Yankees. But what changed everything was a masterfully produced video depicting him in Mets uniform at Citi Field, and most powerfully showing a bronze statue of him next to Tom Seaver outside the stadium. The underlying message was clear. With the Yankees, he'd be another star in their constellation of absolute stars. But with the Mets, he could change the arc of baseball history and be the face of their franchise. The Yankees' final offer reportedly topped out at 16 years, 760.
Me about a month into my GLP-1 medication treatment, and this is day 1 year after. One of the most common questions I get about my GLP-1 medication is
$60 million. But Cohen wouldn't be outbid, guaranteeing Soto an unprecedented $51 million per season, the largest average annual value in MLB history. On December 11th, 2024, Soto signed that mammoth 15-year, $765 million contract with the Mets, complete with full no-trade clause and a $75 million signing bonus and an opt-out.
Yeah, no trade, no trade clause, bro.
So far has been fast forward to today, nearly 3 months into the 2025 season.
He has a no trade clause in his contract.
It's been borderline catastrophic for a player making
No, Soto.
annually. Through June 3rd of 2025, Soto is slashing just 233, 361, and 438. 48 WOBA and a
They was thirsty.
WRC plus. That ranks 52nd in baseball among qualified hitters. For context, these are numbers you'd expect from a solid.
And they give him $51 million a year guaranteed.
In North American history. But here's where the story gets even more alarming.
He gave $51 million guaranteed every year for the next 15 years.
Soto has been
That's why he don't do no show.
And a 280 WRC 140 horse out of all four.
Niggas getting excited.
Let me repeat that. The highest paid player
Niggas went inside it.
baseball history is currently hitting players. So why is this? Well, Soto's bat speed is down 2 miles per hour from last season. However, it is interesting to note he is still in the 74th percentile. This is not normal for a 26-year-old supposedly entering his prime. Interestingly enough, 3 other Mets are among the top 15 bat speed decliners as well. Francisco Lindor, Brandon Nimmo, and Mark Yenti. This suggests either a systemic organizational issue or a coaching philosophy that's neutering the team's offensive potential. However, the advanced metrics also suggest Soto has become a slightly more passive hitter at the plate. His chase percentage is up nearly 3%. For a player whose career was built on elite plate discipline paired with aggressive swings at good pitches, this isn't what fans would like to see. Now, the statistical decline could potentially be written off as an adjustment period, but what emerged during the Yankee series and beyond revealed character issues that have Mets fans questioning whether they signed the wrong man. The Subway Series is always a spectacle in New York, but the fact that the Mets had just signed the Yankees' prized possession the prior offseason made this one of the most important Subway Series of all time. The matchup between the 2 first-place teams would have been compelling enough, but adding Soto's return to Yankee Stadium wearing enemy colors, and you had the most anticipated meeting between the clubs since the 2000 World Series. The reception was about as warm as a swim in winter. 20 minutes before the first pitch of Game 1, when Soto emerged to stretch in center field, the bleacher creatures unleashed a thunderous chorus of boos and explicit-laden chants that would continue through the series. F. Juan Soto reverberated from the bleachers beyond the right field wall. They called him an a-hole in rhythmic unison. With his record contract in mind, they chanted Soto greedy. The classic overrated chorus made an appearance. So did You Misjudge. Soto, ever the showman, tried to play it cool. Before his first plate appearance, he reached his batting helmet, tipped it to the crowd, tapped his chest twice, and mouthed thank you with a smile. But the hostility clearly took its toll. Across the 3-game series, Soto went a horrible 1 for 10 with 4 walks and 3 strikeouts. full run. Adding to the Yankees
Yeah.
won 2 games with former teammate Trent Grisham and new Yankee Paul Goldschmidt playing key roles in the victory. But what happened next revealed the real character of the man the Mets paid $765 million.
Yeah.
First signs of trouble came during Sunday's series finale, an 8-2 Yankees victory. In the 8th inning, Soto hit a ground ball up the middle that second baseman DJ LeMahieu fielded on a sliding backhand. Soto, caught in between with a half swing, didn't hustle out of the box, allowing LeMahieu to throw him out from his knees by multiple steps. The visuals did not look good. As baseball analyst Chris Rose observed,
It felt like the whole weekend was too cool for school, sort of deal. He forgot the game is count.
but what raised even more eyebrows was what happened behind the scenes. Soto had been scheduled to be mic'd up for the nationally televised Sunday Night Baseball broadcast, but reportedly backed out at the last minute. Then, after the game, he refused to speak to reporters and simply walked out of the clubhouse. This despite allegedly telling his team that he would face the media. The Yankee Stadium drama could have been written off as an emotional return gone wrong. But the very next night in Boston, another hustle issue emerged that turned a single incident into a deeply concerning pattern. In the 6th inning of Monday night's game against the Red Sox at Fenway, Soto crushed a ball to left field that he clearly thought was a home run. Rather than running hard out of the box, he admired his shot while stepping backwards into foul ground, then slowly jogged towards first. When the ball hit the green monster and bounced back into play, Soto was caught flat-footed, making it only to first base when a hustling player might have reached second. After the game, Mets manager Carlos Mendoza couldn't ignore the issue any longer.
He thought he had it with the win and all that. And in this ballpark, anywhere, but in particular in this one, with that wall right there, you got to get out of the box. So we'll discuss that.
So just got a watermelon for you. Outdoor instincts not like training. I played an indoor sport for a reason.
When asked about these incidences, Soto's response was perhaps the most damaging part of it all.
Nah.
Mendoza's subsequent comments revealed the depth
I'll
of
check
the
it out.
organization's concern. He's human. He's 26,
Nah, I'll check it out.
and he's going to be fine. He's Juan Soto. But then added tellingly, I think he's comfortable, but everything is new. Not only a new team, but just a new contract, the expectations. For a player making $51 million per year on a 15-year contract, this public disconnect with his manager about something as fundamental as hustle represents a crisis of leadership just months into the Mets' tenure. But here's where the story takes an even more intriguing turn, and where the Mets' $765 million investment starts looking like a historically bad decision. Multiple reports have emerged suggesting that Soto's decision to sign with the Mets is one he's already regretting. According to supposed sources, Soto is actually upset in Queens, wishes he still had Aaron Judge hitting behind him, and isn't as happy right now as he was a year ago this time of year. If true, this adds crucial context to Soto's current attitude and performance. Is he playing with less joy because he's not where he truly wanted to be? Is the weight of a family-influenced decision creating internal conflict that's manifesting in his play, his effort, and his attitude toward the media? These whispers gained momentum after the Yankees series, when Soto seemed unusually affected by the hostile reception. For a player who's weathered tough environments throughout his career with his trademark smile and swagger, his down demeanor in the Bronx stood out dramatically. The comparisons to Francisco Lindor's difficult first season with the Mets have become impossible to ignore. But there's a crucial difference. Lindor never had hustle questions, and he never made $51 million per year. The timing is especially noteworthy when looking with how the Yankees have thrived in Soto's absence. What looked like a devastating loss in December now appears to be addition by subtraction. The Yankees currently lead baseball with a team WRC plus of 128 and are second in terms of WOBA. They're not just surviving without Soto, they're playing better baseball than they did with him. Trent Grisham, who the Padres insisted the Yankees take as a salary dump in the Soto trade, is absolutely raking with 13 home runs through June 3rd and has forced his way into the everyday lineup. The same player who served as an unremarkable fourth outfielder in 2024 is now close to a 1v1 replacement for Soto this year at a fraction of the cost. Paul Goldschmidt, signed with money the Yankees didn't spend on Soto, is batting .327 with excellent production while anchoring the heart of the lineup. And that's at just $12.5 million for 1 year. He's provided more value per dollar than any player in baseball. But perhaps the most damaging comparison is in the win column. The Yankees sit atop the AL East with the best record in their division, while the Mets, despite their strong start, are battling just to stay atop in the competitive NL East. The Yankees didn't just replace Soto, they used his departure to build a more balanced, deeper, and arguably better team. As a team, the Yankees lead the American League in home runs, slugging percentage, OPS, walks, and runs scored. They've hit nearly 30 more home runs than the Mets. The most terrifying question for Mets fans now becomes, what if this isn't just an adjustment period? What if this is who Juan Soto is when he's not motivated, not happy, and not in the right environment? At 26 years old, Soto should be entering his prime. Instead, he has the worst expected stats underperformance in baseball. While this suggests positive regression is coming, the underlying metrics paint a picture of a player who's simply going through a huge slump. Look at his baseball savant page. The numbers are all off of the chart. You could look at anything offensively. 95th percentile average exit velocity, 89th percentile barrel percentage, 95th percentile hard hit percentage, 100th percentile chase percentage. This is a player with one of the best under the hood numbers in MLB. His own teammate Brandon Nimmo tried to explain away the slump by saying, even though it's still New York, it's a new team. It's a new franchise, new fan base. Everything a little bit different. It's not exactly the same as it was there. But adjustment period is becoming harder to sell when the adjustment includes fundamental questions about effort and attitude. The Mets do have the ability to avoid Soto's opt-out clause.
With the live cards, Guerrero?
Which would raise the overall value of the contract. But as any Mets fan right now, if they want to be tied to this player for 3 years, I think more money, and you might get a very different answer than you would have when they signed him. If Soto doesn't dramatically turn this around, the Mets will have spent nearly $750 million on a player whose best seasons came in a Yankee uniform. And there's even a small chance they'll have created a financial nightmare that will handicap their roster construction for the next decade. Meanwhile, the Yankees used the money they didn't spend on Soto to build a more complete team that's currently outperforming the 2024 squad that featured Soto, all while saving hundreds of millions of dollars. 3 months into the Juan Soto era in Queens, some people believe the evidence is mounting that the Mets may have made the most expensive mistake in sports history. The argument is that the statistical decline, the effort questions, the attitude problems, and the underlying metrics all point to a player who has lost the very qualities that made him worth $765 million in the first place. I mean, when was the last time you saw Soto do the Soto shuffle? The Mets did not give him $765 million to be a very good hitter. They gave him that money to be Juan Soto. Right now, he's not even close to being that player. But let's be serious for a second. Juan Soto is just 26 years old, and we aren't even half a season into this massive contract. We have 14 and a half more seasons left until the deal is done, and probably around a year or two until we can safely determine whether or not this is a bad contract. Like I said, the under-the-hood numbers for Soto are still amazing. Plus, it's not like we haven't seen slumps like this before from Soto. Back in 2022, when the Nationals traded Juan Soto to the Padres, Soto hit just .236 and had an OPS under 800. But the very next season, he finished up with a nearly 1,000 OPS and a top 6 MVP finish. However, for the Yankees, every Soto strikeout, every lazy jog to first base, and every passive at-bat feels like vindication for their decision to let him walk. They're proving that sometimes the best move is the one you didn't make. For the Mets, they have to be positive. After all, this is a nearly $1 billion investment into the team. To give up on him now would be foolish. However, I understand why the front office and fans are getting impatient. If my team had signed a future first ballot Hall of Famer, I'd have high expectations too and expect him to run to first base. However, be patient. For now,
I told you already.
early to tell. If Soto ends
Shit
up being
about
one of the
Juan
best
Soto's
hitters in National League
overpaid.
after the All-Star break, I wouldn't be surprised. In fact, given what advanced metrics are telling us, he's due to get hot at the plate more than ever before in his career. But I'm curious, what do you guys think? Is this just growing pains, or did the most expensive mistake in baseball history? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more hard-hitting baseball analysis. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
Some of us dream in color, others in
And now maybe extra bases. In comes the run from third, and they're up by 4.
Baseball fan. I really appreciate all the support you guys do. As you can tell, I'm here in mic setup. Eventually, I'm going to get my own setup so I can do more video for you guys moving forward. But until then, just wanted to say hello. Thank you again so much for the support. And let's get into it. How did the Astros go from this?
Solo runner at third, 2 outs. Here is Marcus Semien. Swing and a miss.
It's been a tough day at the plate. 3 strikeouts already. It's hard not to think negative, but you got to find a way to somehow center up the baseball and put it in play.
And that drops in for a strike.
Well, before we get to the content, this is a brand new YouTube channel.
Hangs and misses. It's a strikeout.
The latest MLB analysis. Now that that's out of the way, let's dive right into this amazing story. The Houston Astros story is unlike anything we've seen in sports. How does a team go from being a total joke, literally the worst team in baseball, to world champions in just a few years? And then, how does that same group of brilliant baseball minds blow it all up by cheating in a way that would forever taint their own legacy? One anonymous MLB pitcher even said, "I couldn't believe it. When I went back to watch it, I heard the banging. I just figured I was tipping or whatever." No one knew to what extent they were doing it, but we all suspected something. But to really understand what happened, we need to go back to the
ground
plan
out to
so
short.
crazy that most baseball fans
Perdomo
thought
on
it
to
was.
first.
To understand
And
how
Semien is
bold
out.
the Astros
And
plan
that's
was, we need to understand just how awful the 2011 to 2013 Astros really were. The numbers are painful. 111 losses in 2013 alone. From 2011 to 2013, the Astros had a 3-year record of 162 to 324. That's a 333 winning percentage. Basically losing
Solo runner at
2 out
third,
of
2
3
men
games
out.
for
Marcus
3
Semien
straight years.
stepping in for
Their
the
2013
Rangers.
payroll was just over $28 million total. That's the same amount Yankees third baseman Alex Rodriguez made by himself that year. Their team batting average was a pathetic 240, while their pitchers gave up 1,530 hits, the second most by any other staff in the American League. One anonymous player summed it up by saying, "There's absolutely kind of special tension when you play the Astros, because you expect to beat them. And when you lose, it just feels like a terrible loss
Upstairs a little bit. Make sure you miss
total
popping
incompetence
out of the
was
zone
actually
since you're
a
heading to count
master
1-2.
plan unfolding
Don't
behind
miss
the
in the
scenes.
zone
The
because
most
that's where you can get
calculated
hurt.
tear down in
Ground ball to the
sports
middle.
history.
That's a
In
base
December
hit.
of 2011, new Astros owner Jim Crane hired Jeff Luhnow as general manager. Luhnow wasn't your typical baseball guy. Instead of decades in dugouts, he had an MBA from Northwestern and had worked at McKinsey, one of the top consulting firms in the world. This guy was thinking differently about baseball from day one. He was even a key architect of the 2006 and 2011 World Champion Cardinals team. New owner Jim Crane made the bold claim that the Astros strive to develop one of the best systems in baseball and create a consistent winner at the major league level. Jeff has the knowledge, skill, and experience to lead the baseball operations efforts at all levels and help the Astros achieve this vision. That knowledge came from what became baseball's most advanced analytical department. While other teams had started using data, Luhnow assembled a team including PhDs, engineers, and even former NASA scientists to build systems that could evaluate players in ways other teams couldn't imagine. That information about one man put in prison for 4 years. The information in question is something called Ground Control, a super advanced database that combines scouting, medical info, stats, and contract details. in ways that landed rival executives in prison. You heard that correctly. Chris Correa, a scouting director for the St. Louis Cardinals, was sent to jail for 46 months after illegally accessing the data. But that's beside it. What most fans don't realize is that all the losing was 100% on purpose. You might know this strategy as the process, an approach popularized by former 76ers general manager Sam Hinkie that accepted short-term pain for long-term dominance. For the Astros, each loss meant better draft picks and more international bonuses.
Now that's
Every
smacked to
veteran
right center.
for prospects and more young talent.
Base hit.
Just
In
look at
comes
who
the
they
runner
collected
from
during
third,
the awful
and they're
year.
up by
Carlos
4.
Correa was that
Throw
first
pulls
overall
him
pick
off
in
the
2012.
bag, and
They
he's
shocked
safe.
everyone by not taking Mark Appel, who most thought was the better prospect. George Springer, the 11th overall pick in 2011, an athletic outfielder whose high strikeout rate at the time scared off other teams. Lance McCullers Jr., the 41st overall pick in 2012, had questionable control but elite pitch movement. And Alex Bregman, who was the second overall pick in 2015, was a college shortstop many scouts thought was too small, but whose numbers suggested potential star. Each pick wasn't random. They were building a team with specific player types that traditional scouts undervalued. Current Astros general manager James Click explained it perfectly, saying, "We can't continue, and no team can continue, to have success at the major league level unless you're constantly bringing talent up from the minor leagues." During these brutal seasons, you could see glimpses of what was coming. Jose Altuve, standing at just 5'6" and originally signed for only $15,000 from Venezuela, hit .290 as a 22-year-old in 2012. Dallas Keuchel, a forgettable second-round pick with a fastball barely hitting 90 miles per hour, started showing command and movement that the Astros even suggested could make him elite. The Astros were completely rethinking how baseball teams should operate. They pioneered defensive shifts based on detailed batted ball data when most teams still position fielders by gut feel. They revolutionized pitch sequencing by analyzing how certain pitches look identical to hitters until the last split second. And they optimized swing paths for better launch angles years before these concepts became baseball buzzwords. But for fans, each 100-loss season has their patience. For players, the constant roster turnover created a revolving door of mediocrity. But inside the organization, the losses were actually celebrated as investments
Some hitters are just more confident
in
they can
June
track that first pitch
2014,
out of the hand of
Sports
the pitcher. They don't
Illustrated
care
made
if they
what
fall
seemed
behind
like
0-1.
a crazy prediction. On their cover, they declared that Astros would be the 2017 World Series champions.
Try to go again
Time,
with a
the team
fastball
was still
slightly
terrible,
elevated.
and
He
baseball
just
people
having a hard
laughed
time
at how
catching up.
ridiculous this seemed. Looking back now, though, it might have been the most
Two outs
worth
and a runner
prediction
at
ever made.
third.
If
Here
the
at the top
painful
of the ninth.
rebuild was phase one of the Astros plan, then 2014 showed the first real signs that the crazy strategy might actually work. Their 70 to 92 record was still bad, but it represented a 19-game improvement over the previous season. More importantly, the young talent started arriving in Houston. George Springer made his long-awaited MLB debut, crushing 20 home runs in just 78 games, while playing center field with amazing range and athleticism. His combination of power, ability to get on base, and above-average defense was exactly what the Astros were looking for when they picked him in the first round just 3 years prior. But 2015 delivered the first real proof that the plan was working. An 86 and 76 record and a wild card berth that shocked the baseball world. This wasn't just an improvement, it was the emergence of a contender. The crazy part, which wasn't fully appreciated at the time, is how the Astros' approach had transformed average players into stars. Dallas Keuchel, that unimpressive 7th-round pick with mediocre velocity, became virtually unhittable, posting a 2.48 ERA across 232 innings and winning the American League Cy Young Award. His success didn't come from overwhelming stuff, but from pitch movement patterns that Astros analysts had identified as uniquely effective. Keuchel's pitches had so much movement that Martin Maldonado, a catcher known for his defensive ability, literally said that Keuchel's pitches have so much movement on his fastball and changeup that Maldonado told him that it's easier to hit against Keuchel than it is to catch him. Altuve continued his unlikely rise, hitting .313 while stealing 38 bases, combining speed with surprising power developed through swing adjustments designed to keep its cutting-edge hitting off. The bullpen, Drew Harris, a waiver claim who can cut by 3 teams, became an elite reliever by following pitch usage patterns suggested by Houston's analytics team, posting a 1.9 ERA. The 2015 Astros let the entire MLB defensive shift just over 500 weight. They got so so out of hand that an umpire even asked Carlos Correa if he was learning how to play second base. Now, the defining moment came in the wild card game against the Yankees. In the pressure of Yankee Stadium, the young underdog showed incredible poise. Keuchel pitched 6 shutout innings on short rest. Colby Rasmus and Carlos Gomez hit crucial home runs, and the Astros secured a 3-0 victory that stunned the baseball world. Though they eventually lost to the Kansas City Royals in a close series, the message was clear. The analytical revolution was delivering real results. While 2016 brought a small step back, an 84 and 78 record that left them out of the playoffs, the season did include crucial developments that would fuel their coming dominance. Alex Bregman, the second overall pick in 2015, arrived in the majors, showing the advanced approach and clutch hitting that Houston's models had projected. Carlos Correa, season confirmed his status as baseball's best young shortstop, combining 20 home runs with impressive defensive range. By the end of 2016, everything was in place. The prospects had been called out. The Astros had developed one of the best rotations in the American League, and the team that a short few years ago finished with 110 losses was about to make history. The 2017 season was like a process fully delivered. The moment when years of calculated losing, the thought of resulted in the most successful season in franchise history. From opening day,
Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
16-29 record at the All-Star break fielded what would become an insurmountable lead in the AL West. Their offense wasn't just good; it was great, leading the majors in runs, doubles, batting average, on-base percentage, and slugging percentage. Their OPS plus was literally 16 points higher than the second-best team. They led in basically every scoring offense. Altuve won the American League MVP award with a 346 batting average, while George Springer, Carlos Correa, and Marwin Gonzalez all posted OPS figures above 888. The Astros were a concentration of offensive firepower that made pitchers lose sleep. According to William Metzger, a diehard Astros fan, the 2017 Astros were among the best hitting teams in history. The team OPS plus was 123, just 4 points less than the favorite.
Runner at third, 2 away. He swings and fouls one off.
1927 Yankees of the Bambino. 1976 Swing machine was a mere 120. We aren't talking about a good offense for sure. We're talking about one of the best offenses of all time. But the real story goes deeper than just the stats. It was the perfect combination of analytics and player performance. Take Justin Verlander acquired literally seconds before the first trade deadline. Verlander was exactly what the Astros identified as their missing piece. A proven ace with the experience to handle October pressure. And in Houston, Verlander immediately found another gear, posting a 1.06 ERA in 5 regular season starts after the trade. What most people don't know is that this transformation wasn't luck. The Astros analytics team had identified specific changes to how Justin Verlander could throw
even a good pitch early in the at-bat. If he's not ready to
2017,
pull the
Justin
trigger,
Verlander
he's not
averaged
worried if
over
he gets to an 0-2
2,500
count.
RPM runs
into the
or
outfield for a
revolution
knock.
per minute.
The
But in
run scores from
2018,
third.
that
It's
number
an
jumped
RBI
over
single, and they're up
150
by
revolutions
4.
to 2,662, getting more movement on his fastball. For instance, in 2017, his fastball had negative 0.7 inches of vertical movement compared to the average fastball. But in 2018, it moved up 2.8 inches of vertical movement compared to the average fastball. The Astros models predicted this would make him more effective against modern hitters. Verlander, always a student of pitching, despite his veteran status, embraced these changes and sought immediate results. First got to the organization, they kind of showed me some of the stuff that they can do and try to do instead.
Comes up empty, that's strike 2.
Before that, before I got to the Astros, I was open to collecting as much information as I could that would help me on the mound. As opposed to when I was younger, when I was kind of just look back and throw. Now the preseason tested the team's talent and their analytical skills. Would the combination of talent and sabermetrics be enough to take home Houston's first ever World Series? Against the Yankees in the ALCS, they faced a 3-2 series deficit. Consecutive wins to advance, Game 6 saw Verlander deliver a masterclass 7 shutout innings that kept their championship hopes alive. In the decisive Game 7, Charlie Morton and Lance McCullers Jr. combined for a 3-hit shutout. Specifically, McCullers tossed an interfield
2 outs. Hit in the air, center field.
Dodgers,
And that is that.
Classic, a 7-game thriller featuring extra innings drama, record-setting home run totals, and emotional swings. But Game 5 stands as perhaps the defining game of the entire dynasty. A 10-inning, 13-12 victory featuring multiple comebacks from both teams.
Solo runner at third, 2 men
The
out.
walk-off
Here is
hit at
Marcus
117-8 in Lopez, topping the highest-scoring World Series game in 2 decades.
They just threw that fastball by and elevated, and if you're not looking up in that location, very difficult to catch up to, especially with that velocity.
That misses, and 1-1. Just missed.
When Charlie Morton
there. Really had some run and finished
the
those
first
up and in
championship in
just on
franchise
the
history,
edge.
it represented
And
not
that's one of those, if
just
you
a
swing at
team's
it,
triumph,
hit a
but
broken
validation of the
And a
entire
seed into
organization
center,
of
that's a
philosophy.
base hit.
In
In to
first
score is the runner
Astros
from
had
third,
delivered
and it's an
exactly what
RBI
was promised,
single, and they're
transforming
up
a
by
bottom
4.
of the league team into its champion in a time span that defied
Now it's
building
Marcus
time.
Semien.
What
second
followed in
baseman,
2018 and 2019 confirmed that this wasn't a one-year fluke, but a legitimate dynasty. The 2018 team actually improved in many ways, winning a franchise record of 103
ball
games
left
behind
side.
an even more dominant pitching staff. The addition of
Safe at
Garrett
first,
Cole,
and an
another
infield single keeps the inning
acquisition,
going.
gave them perhaps the most intimidating rotation in baseball. Though they would lose to the Boston Red Sox in that year's ALCS, they returned with a vengeance in 2019. On paper, the 2019 team was somehow even better than the last 2 seasons. Their 107 regular season wins set another franchise record. Their starting rotation features 2 future Hall of Famers in Verlander and Cole at the peak of their powers, engaged in a season-long battle for the Cy Young, an award Verlander would ultimately win. Their offense added another dimension with rookie Yordan Alvarez, whose 1.067 OPS was one of the greatest debut seasons in baseball history. By any measure, the 2019 Astros represented the peak of everything the organization had been building toward. A team with no obvious weaknesses, whose regular season run differential of plus 280 ranked among the highest in the modern era. They beat the Rays in the East Division Series and outlasted the Yankees in a 6-game ALCS with Jose Altuve's walk-off home run in Game 6, creating what appeared to be the dynasty's signature moment. Entering the World Series against the underdog Washington Nationals, another championship seemed almost guaranteed. In fact, they were the biggest favorites in the World Series since 2007. This only became more true after they took a 3-2 series lead heading back to Houston. The Nationals, though, refusing to follow the script, won Game 6 and Game 7 in Houston, with Zach Greinke's brilliant Game 7 start being wasted by a fateful 7th-inning home run from Howie Kendrick. As the Astros processed this unexpected ending to their season, no one could have predicted how quickly their carefully built reputation would fall apart, or how a former fifth starter would ignite controversy that would forever change baseball history.
Why you didn't say, I don't want to do new fire now, because you look like a snitch. You know what I mean? Why you got to talk about it after?
And they're going to fine the team $5 million. They will suspend their manager AJ Hinch for the entire season. They'll suspend the Astros general manager Jeff Luhnow for the entire season as well.
On November 12, 2019, just 2 weeks after the Astros Game 7 World Series loss, The Athletic published an article that would permanently change baseball's landscape. Former Houston pitcher Mike Fiers, who had been with the team during their 2017 championship season, came forward with explosive allegations. The Astros had been running a sophisticated electronic sign-stealing operation that went far beyond baseball's accepted boundaries. Fiers would say, I just want the game to be cleaned up a little bit because there are guys who are losing their jobs because they're going in there not knowing. Young guys getting hit around in the first couple of innings starting the game, and then they get sent down. It's BS on that end. It's ruining jobs for younger guys. The guys who know are more prepared, but most people don't. That's why I told my team. The scheme, later confirmed by MLB's investigation, was both simple and effective. A camera positioned in center field at Minute Maid Park sent live video of the opposing catcher's signs to a monitor placed in the tunnel between the dugout and the clubhouse. Astros personnel would decode the signs in real time, then signal the upcoming pitch type to batters by banging on a trash can. Typically, one bang for an off-speed pitch, no bang for a fastball. What made this different from traditional sign stealing wasn't just the use of technology, which MLB had specifically banned in the September 2017 memo. It was the real-time nature of the system, giving hitters actionable intelligence seconds before each pitch, rather than just figuring out patterns for future at-bats. As the scandal unfolded, the evidence became impossible to ignore. Internet sleuths like John Boy Media combed through footage of the 2017 Astros home games, isolating clear audio of the trash can bangs right before breaking pitches. One dedicated fan, Tony Adams, analyzed 58 home games and documented 1,143 bangs that lined up precisely with off-speed pitches, creating a public database that showed certain players seemed to benefit more than others. But here's the weird thing. You'd think this type of system would drastically change the Astros' offense entirely. For Marwin Gonzalez, it certainly did. The veteran posted a career-high 146 OPS plus and nearly 4 B WAR. Both would remain career highs until he retired. But as for the team, well, actually, if you look at the numbers, the Astros had a better average and OPS on the road than they did at home, which to me has to be one of the most shocking revelations of this entire scandal. But just because it didn't have a measurable impact doesn't mean this entire scandal doesn't matter. Take, for example, Danny Farquhar's own experience against the Astros in 2017. He said, every time I would throw a changeup, the catcher would put down a 4. I would come set, and I would do it. And finally, on the third changeup that I threw him, in my head, I said, if I come set this pitch and I hear a bang, I'm calling the catcher out and we're changing our signs. And you guessed it, he heard a bang and had to change his sign. And this is just a side note that I wanted to mention. Although the Astros sign-stealing scandal is the only one to go mainstream and make headlines around the world, former Cy Young winner Jeffrey Dole alleged Tony La Russa and the White Sox used video to steal signs all the way back in the 1980s. Even recently, former big leaguer Logan Morrison said every team steals signs. But that's a debate for another video. MLB's investigation, concluded in January of 2020, confirmed the main allegation while raising Mr. Rob Manfred's 9-page report described the scheme as player-driven but enabled by organizational culture. The punishment for the Plus, the Astros were fined $5 million and forced to forfeit their first and second round picks for 2 years. But the most controversial aspect of the punishment was what it didn't include. MLB granted immunity to players in exchange for honest testimony, meaning that despite being the main beneficiaries and according to the report, initiators of the scheme, not a single Astros player faced official discipline. It makes 0 sense, one anonymous player said. You can't punish a whole team, and some of those guys are not with the Astros anymore. It has to be the organization. Like in college football, when there's misconduct, by the time it's found, most players and sometimes coaches are gone. The fans and current players take the brunt of the punishment. Same here.
I mean, these guys are cheating for 3 years. You know, I think what people don't realize is Altuve stole an MVP from Judge in 17. Everyone knows they stole the ring from us. I thought the apologies were whatever. I thought Jim Crane's was weak. I thought Manfred's punishment was weak, giving him immunity.
Former MLB pitcher Mike Bossinger even filed a lawsuit against the organization, claiming the scheme had ended his major league career during a particularly disastrous outing against Houston, which, don't get me wrong, was a bad outing. He had just 1/3 innings pitched and allowed 4 earned runs. But even before that game, he was a mid-5 ERA pitcher who had a nearly 900 OPS against him. So, sorry, Mike. I think the sign-stealing Astros were the least of your problems. But for Astros players, the 2020 season, which was delayed and shortened by the COVID-19 pandemic, became a gauntlet of public shame. Dodgers reliever Joe Kelly was even suspended 8 games for inciting a brawl with the now ostracized Astros. Though fans weren't present in stadiums due to health protocols, opposing pitchers delivered their own form of justice. A 4-minute video of nothing but Astros players getting hit even went viral online. The fans didn't just hate the Astros, so did the players. And the psychological impact on the team was showing in their performance. Jose Altuve, whose 2017 MVP season now carried an asterisk in many minds, saw his batting average plummet to .219 in 2020, which was granted because of a small sample size, but still, it was by far the worst performance of his career. Carlos Correa, who had been among the most defiant in defending the team, struggled with inconsistency, his OPS dropping 217 points from 2019. But the most fascinating part in this chapter of the Astros saga involves what wasn't in Manfred's report. The rumors and allegations about even more sophisticated cheating methods that were never officially confirmed but became part of the scandal's mythology. Sadly, windshield treats can turn into windshield cracks. But at least you can go to SafeLight.com and facilitate your minutes with flexible payment options for fix now and pay later. Only at SafeLight.com. Praise. You made it. You got good. You were the last to see the president live.
Welcome to the pit. A pilot is coming. Is there anything better than summer on Long Island? Time for fun in the sun at the world famous Golf Shack. The Golf Shack at Cedar Beach in Babylon. Back and better than ever. Live outdoor music, beach volleyball, panoramic views from working every day. Day happy hour 4 to 6. Inside or outside, there's summer fun for all ages, 7 days a week, under the palm trees, on the ocean, at the famous Golf Shack.
While MLB's investigation found no evidence of such technology, and even Jeff Passan said it never occurred, the court of public opinion had already rendered its verdict.
I found no evidence that there was a wire on it. No.
The scandal permanently altered how the Houston dynasty would be remembered. Their innovation, their player development expertise, their analytical brilliance, all of it became secondary to the one question that would never have a good enough answer. How much of their success was legitimate? This controversy also marked a turning point in the team's trajectory. Beyond the draft pick loss and the reputation damage, the scandal accelerated the departure of key architects of the dynasty. Leno, the mastermind of the process, was gone. Manager who had perfectly balanced analytics with human psychology was gone. Valuable front office personnel, including Signadal and Mike Elias, had already left for opportunities elsewhere.
The Toronto Blue Jays are major players, folks. Players. They landed this guy, George Springer, one of the top free agents in his class.
The 412 deal.
But despite all the departures, the post-scandal Astros showed remarkable resilience. Far from collapsing under the weight of baseball's biggest cheating scandal since the 1919 Black Sox, they seemed determined to prove their legitimacy through continued success. And the 2020 pandemic-shortened season, despite regular season struggles that left them with a losing record, somehow led to another deep playoff run. They eliminated both the Twins and the Athletics before pushing the Rays to 7 games in the ALCS, coming one win short of a World Series return that would have made baseball fans furious. The 2021 campaign brought another AL West title and the team's third World Series appearance in 5 years. Though they would lose to the Atlanta Braves in 6 games, their continued success suggested an organization that had weathered the scandal's immediate aftermath. Even 2022 delivered another division crown and the franchise's 4th World Series appearance, where they finally secured a second championship by defeating the Philadelphia Phillies. This title, presumably untainted by electronic sign stealing, offered some sort of redemption, proof that the core of this team could win without breaking the rules. Some writers from The Ringer even went as far as to say you have to hand it to the World Series winning Astros, or that you have to face it that the Astros are one of the great teams of modern times. Any team that makes it to the ALCS not 3, 4, or even 5 times, but 6 times in a row is special. However, even after all the success and beneath the continued playoff appearances, steadily eroding in ways that would become increasingly obvious. Consider the talent exit. George Springer, the dynamic center fielder in 2017. $150 million contract. Carlos Correa, with Minnesota following 2021. Justin Verlander, after helping secure the 2022 championship, left for the Mets and then inevitably Cole, the man Houston developed after a rocky Pittsburgh start, had already departed for the Yankees after 2019. This gradual breakup of a championship core represents the natural life cycle of any baseball dynasty era. But for Houston, the timing coincided with another significant shift, analytical advantage. What most people don't realize is how quickly revolutionary approaches have become industry standards. Teams throughout baseball have strayed away Houston's front office talent and copied their methods. The Rays, Dodgers, Yankees, Red Sox, basically every team have built their own versions of ground control. The reality of the matter is that the Astros were always going to have a temporary advantage analytically. The minute other teams caught up, the statistical evidence of this decline appears in subtle metrics rather than obvious flashes. Their pitching development, seemingly magical ability to transform average arms into stars, showed diminishing returns. Their offensive approach, which had produced historically low strikeout rates during the dynasty years, began yielding more conventional results. Their defensive positioning was revolutionary, now matched the elite standard as other teams cut up and rapidly shift. Further accelerated this regression. Was still effective, saw his B-WAR drop from nearly 10 combined B-WAR in 21 and 22 to just over 6 combined B-WAR in 22. Alex Bregman's OPS and B-WAR declined from an elite 1.015 OPS and AL leading 8.9 B-WAR to a more mortal 820 OPS and 4.6 B-WAR. Plus, that's not to mention Bregman leading the team in 2005. The farm system, once baseball's envy, had been depleted when trades moved through championship pursuits and the draft pick penalties from the sign stealing punishment. Baseball America's organizational power rankings, which had placed Houston third in 2017, all the way to 29th in the league by 2025. Now, the 2023 season brought another AL West title and ALCS appearance, but the cracks were growing larger. The team's run differential, once a dominant 280 in 2019, had shrunk to just 129. Their pitching staff, forced to rely increasingly on unproven young arms, showed inconsistency throughout the regular season. By 2024, the decline could no longer be ignored. After the fourth consecutive AL West title,
Yes, what's this? Cruz.
ALCS since 2016. Baseball operations department and the industry significant change. Their successor James Clair losing due to differences with owner Jim Crane. The analytics team was staffed by pioneers.
Steve center field. Yeah.
Organization that has once aspired to build a model franchise and revolutionize baseball itself, merely being competitive no longer matters in soaring ambition. The dynasty, born from the ashes of 100 last seasons and fueled by both brilliant innovation and ethical shortcuts, have run its course. As the Astro dynasty fades into baseball history, we're not trying to figure out where exactly they fit in this sports legacy. Few teams in sports such a stark contrast between quantity and brilliance and between 2017
Oh, that's good. Juco, yeah.
a regular season record of 631 to 401, captured 7 American League West titles, won 4 American League titles, and secured 2 World Series producing MVP, 2 Cy Young winners in Dallas Keuchel and Justin Verlander.
Oh, wow, I got Roger Clemens' son.
Changed baseball itself. The player development system, which transformed unassuming prospects like Dallas Keuchel and unproven international signings like Raymond Alves into frontline starters, became the model that organizations throughout the sport tried to copy. Through use of defensive shifts, pitch tunneling, and optimal launch angles accelerated baseball's analytical revolution by year. It's completely fair to say that despite the team's struggles, the Houston Astros were a major part of why we see analytics the way we do in this invention. It simply would not be the same without it. But here's the thing, these legitimate accomplishments will forever exist of the
Right.
time-stealing canvas. The 2017 championship in particular no amount of success players from this team eventually appear on Hall of Fame ballots, players will grapple with the same questions that surround the steroids. Those statistical against ethical transgression. Key stories within this organizational saga reveal baseball's compelling complexity. Jose Altuve's journey from overlooked prospect to MVP represents one of the most inspiring narratives, but it's now complicated by his participation even as his previous raises questions about the limits of his leadership. As for the future, the Astros face the same challenge as any aging dynasty: how to transition to the next competitive window without enduring another painful rebuild. The farm system, while no longer elite, has produced promising talents like Jeremy Pena and Chad McCormick. The organizational infrastructure, while no longer revolutionary, still remains solid, but the margin for error has narrowed considerably. The financial flexibility to add impact free agents has been limited by long-term commitments to aging stars. The analytical edge that once provided a steady stream of undervalued assets has largely disappeared as competitors pile up. And the draft pick penalties from the standing have restricted the influx of premium and for talent. In the final analysis, the Houston Astros dynasty of 2017 to 2023 stands as perhaps the most complicated case study in modern sports. Their story contains brilliant innovation and inexcusable cheating, deserved success and tarnished glory, legitimate pride and lingering shame. It's a legacy that defies. Hero will rise. He will rise directly up Interstate 95 about 4 hours. He will leave our nation's putative capital and set up camp in the actual one, New York City. The New York Yankees will be great again. And at that point, baseball will be back in one, folks.
Coming off the 2017 season, the Yankees were feeling themselves, boasting a young core led by the should-have-been MVP, Aaron Judge. Exiting the 2017 ALCS to an absolutely gut-wrenching 7-game series to the Houston.
It's hard to name a team more deep. This is Dramatic made it says you would you never
This June, buy a Ford vehicle and help celebrate an important additional donation to these causes. That's Ford building together. Ford Motor Company. From America for America.
MLB The Show 25 is dropping another massive Legend and Flashback collection this Friday for a brand new 99 overall. Let's talk about it. Everything you need to know and get ready for with that new collection, so hopefully you can get them as soon as possible. There's 4.99s in the game. This will be a fifth. You're going to want this card. Leave a like down below. Subscribe. You begin tonight with Los Angeles bracing tonight after sweeping immigration raids sparked protests and clashes tonight at U.S. officials.
And they still scrapping in LA, bro. Yo, Sean. They still scrapping in LA. Nigga, you don't hear about the riots, nigga? It's getting worse. Yeah, nigga, they just sent out 700 Marines, bro. They fight. Nigga, no, it's not them, my nigga. It's the Mexicans. They fighting ICE, nigga. Nigga, the National Guard was no, the National Guard been there, my nigga. They just sent 700 Marines, bro. This is day 4. Shit been going on for days.
Live has been releasing so many great cards as of know of them. Got two during the meeting. Let's go.
That's just it be like that some days, bro.
First down catch. Hitting is the only metrics that really matter here. Again, defense. I played enough. I know that there's not really much you can do about people running, stealing bases. If you've got Pete Crow Armstrong, you're going to steal that base. To be honest, what I've recognized, the biggest impact in the run game is your pitcher and how quick their delivery is to the plate. That's really the biggest thing that you can change, apart from having catcher pop time. Work that very few catchers actually have. The actual fielding rating, I don't care about. Watching matters is very little arbitrary.
Yes.
Really, it is hitting. I'm going to look at for catchers. Most catchers defensively. That's just the honest to God truth. Hopefully, they make catcher. For me, it's close, and I'll bring down A tier. Some good catchers. I think S tier's Carlos Santana. He's so good. The switch hitting swing, it is phenomenal. The pure contact and power balance he has on top of good clutch and vision with like 40-something speed is truly just unmatched with some of the other catchers that you're going to see. He is incredible. He is cheaper. He's like 250, 300. Stretching the definition of cheap, but he has gone down a bit in price. I still think he's the best catcher in the game. Kyle Schwarber is really great. Once again, I'm going to try and rank these at a sort of baseline for your average player, maybe average to a bit above average, meaning some of the attributes like plate vision would matter a little bit more in the higher difficulties. I am going to pay mine to. Schwarber has a little bit lower vision, but really the only knock against him is the defense. And again, if you use the Schwarber card, you don't notice it. He gives up just as many stolen bases as a Ted Simmons. It's defensive on paper, but not really a meaningful difference. Schwarber's got so much power. He's got, once again, a litany of quirks on top of it. That card is really good. He is expensive. You're noticing a trend here. A tier. I just put Posada down. I had him neck and neck with Santana. He was amongst those guys. I think those ratings have fell a little bit for him. His power against lefties is about 80, for example, and it's just not quite Santana. Like, this is A+ tier because they're so close. Even Mike Piazza, a free card in the multiplayer program. I really do like that card a bunch. He's hitting astronomically for me right now. I don't know if they changed his swing, but it feels like butter. He's helped me out a ton, hitting for a super high average, hitting runs as well. Really like the card of his money grand all. He's my starting catcher right now. I don't have to take it. I don't have to. A little bit lower, but you'll notice the contact is not up to Carlos Santana standards, and he's got about 10 speed. He's got 2 cement blocks on his feet, and you notice it. Speed is an offensive stat. If you don't hit it over the wall, it's a single. And you're going to suffer the consequences of that super slow speed all the while he almost his way around the base track. I think if you have any of those 5, you're doing really good at catcher. Beyond came out recently, Bo Naylor. He's a pretty good catcher. He's got good lefty swing.
Yeah.
He's got good offensive action, a little bit of speed on top of it. If there's one guy who you realistically could use how it is him. He should be your best catcher in commanding the run game behind the dish. And he's a solid offensive bat. Like, he's got 90s contact. Beyond that point,
I don't care.
all the
I don't care.
I think if you have any of those 5, you're doing really good at catcher. Beyond that point, you've got some of the other cards that came out recently. Bo Naylor. He's a pretty good catcher. He's got a good lefty swing. He's got good offensive attributes, a little bit of speed on top of it. J.T. Realmuto. One guy who could use right now. He should be your best catcher. behind the dish. And he's a solid offensive bat. Like, he's got 90s contact. If you want to swing, fire him into Giolito. Give him a lead. Upgraded Ted Simmons, essentially, just, again, without the speed. He's like Ted Simmons with Yasmani Grandal's speed. Mike Napoli, the clutch is low. Again, clutch, what does that do? Your clutch rating swaps your contact rating in times when runners are in scoring position. Normally, the contact decides your PCI size. It's clutch when there's runners on second and third, so on and so forth. And the same can be said for pitchers. Hit 9, moves over pitch clutch. So 16 batting clutch, you don't notice it if there's nobody on base or if there's only a guy on first. But if he is coming up in those big moments, it is going to suck. Otherwise, really good offensive attributes. He's been out since the game's launch. He's still a pretty good card. And I'm not judging these based on any parallels. If you've got these guys parallel 5, great. It's going to make them a lot better than they would be stocked out of the box. But I can't possibly factor that in. Otherwise, Sean Murphy, the moonshot card, pretty solid. Ted Simmons, you guys know how good he is. He's been probably your catcher at some point this year. Really fun card. And then Wilson Contreras at catcher secondary, going back to his position of old. It's also very solid high 80s, low 90s offensive attributes. So pretty good. Moving on down to C tier. You know, these guys maybe you could use. There's a lot of free cards. You need Naylor, Leovito, Hebert, those are free cards. Beyonce, player path, or gets like 5K. Even Yaz is very affordable. He requires a few moonshot cards, but not bad. C tier, you know, maybe you're still using these guys at the start. Cal Raleigh's an interesting guy. He's a live series, of course. Obviously, we're not judging based off the supercharge, but contact is an important rating. And you'll notice that with his better cards technically on paper, 89 overall, he's got even less contact in his live series. That is a very important attribute, no matter what difficulty you're playing on. So, once again, I mean, like, if you don't rushing, not bad. If you want to use him for fun, but obviously we realize there's better options. You've got the Jason Varitek, who, once again, I'm sure a lot of people had in their lineups at some point this year. You've got Manuel Pasalo, Ballesteros for the Cubs, a couple decent guys. Will Smith, he's got a really favorable inside edge, and that goes for the most live series guys. Give him a look. Jay Bangaliers, he's got pop and he's got catcher pop time as well. Then he got Oscar. Moving over to first base. Now, the Immortals here, nobody they're just not quite up to snuff. You've got Gil Hodges, once again. He's the best of the best. He should be. You've got to collect a 650,000 center card, and that is one of how do you halfway getting to the Hodges? You have your Acuna, your Tatis, you've got Soto and Lindor, a lot of stuff to get Hodges. He's very expensive, and he's very good. He should be. Not everybody loves his swing, but the stats on paper prove to be very good. S tier, Carlos Santana once again. Everything that makes him good makes him even better at first base. He does have a little bit of fielding, a little bit better than average. Jimmer Candelario is one of those moonshot cards. He's got very low fielding once again. I do care very little about defense at first base. I don't not look at it, but it is one of those positions where you certainly can let it slide. It's at the corners. I think first and third base, with how this game works, most balls get over there, they're hot shots. A lot of them are hard hit lines. It's there no matter who it is. Again, I've used your first baseman with really good defensive ratings, and there's just a huge difference. Rogan, he's behind in the game.
Special. What's that? What's wrong with that part? It's like these are the animals that out.
This ship collected 5 different life forms from the darkest corners of the universe.
He has a killer Easter card last year as well. Slowing down from the helmet. This is rookie year left. Playing at first base at the time. Honestly, has to do quite a bit. On that line, I think they are close. I think there's a couple more, and then ours is the differentiator. Vlad is really good. He's also really good. Delgado is a free card. If you play the Moonstone program, you do the Diamond Quest. You should have enough cards to get that money to Diamond free. He's honestly really, really good. For a lot of people, again, the vision is low. Difference. Again, vision, if people know is what affects the outer cone of your PCI. If you've got low vision, you're going to swing and miss more often. Call it the trade-off effect because it increases your timing window. High vision makes it easier to hit perfects. You can be a little bit earlier on some of those low vision and still get a perfect, if that makes sense. It is an important stat, but it really shows itself on the higher difficulty. On All-Star, just fine, especially if you're playing outfield. No Delgado's exception. Got pretty free besides the and the fielding and the speed. The swing is awesome though. I love his swing. He's always going to play. Now his live series is up to a 90 overall, and he plays up on inside edge every day. He's got all the important quirks. If he's up on inside edge, this could be like a 10-piece bucket beast for you that's going to play towards the top of first base. Hank Greenberg, brand new boss. Might not be the sexiest name for younger people who weren't around in the 30s to watch him play, but he's a beast. He's got lots of power. He's got Ryan O'Hearn. I had a 5-at-bat perfect streak running with him, using him. I love this card. He's one of those guys I think is going to really fly under the radar, just because once again, he wasn't like the lightning card within that program, let alone even the top batter in that program. But he's super good. You'll see him high in the outfield list as well, but even more so at first base, where you don't have to worry so much about the lower defense. Wilmer Flores. He can play a handful of positions. First base would be the best one. He's really slow. Once again, he's got like 10 speed. That is going to be tough to utilize if you don't hit the ball over the wall, but he does have a good bit of power to help you do that. B tier, you got the new Adam Dunn. He's good, lower contact against left, lower vision, and just not a great fielder in general. But man, he killed me so many years. Even the other day, from down a little down, kind of stopped me in my tracks for getting a 10. That was the silver. This was the diamond. Anthony Santander still proves to be a really good card. Still good both ways. Harper, pretty good stats on the clock. Get it inside of the clock. Great killer swing. Who needs the 90 card, right? Tim Sadley, he's expensive. Switch hitter, not great against lefties. Colton, one of those really underrated cards. He's got a great left-handed swing. Give the two. Big Poppy. You guys know how good he is. He's one of the most popular cards in MLB The Show 25. Over 300,000 green pin. Isaac Paredes. I've always liked this card in DB. This one is also pretty good. Joe Gallo. Him and Adam Dunn, very alike. Gallo is even blinder than Dunn. That says something. If you ever watched Adam Dunn play back in the day, this Gallo card is going to play like he did in real life. He's going to hit power. And the contact is actually pretty fair. It's just the vision. If you're lower difficulty, I think you might enjoy this Gallo. But 30 vision just will not play. Hall of Fame points. That's just the fact of it. Josh Smith, underrated card. Son of a rocket. He got he stuffed from the Hall of Fame. Prince Fielder. Always loved his swing of the game. Peter Alonso, Lee Hoskins, a lot of good boxing. Really started also pretty underrated card. He's Garrett. The stats are not incredible, but he's got like 9 to 10 quirks and one of the best left-handed swings. Give him a shot if you've got him and you're struggling to find somebody you like it like B. Chris Bryant still good. Tony Clark. Tony the time this system into basement. You got, some okay guys. Some guys probably a little bit past the curve. Or some that came out recently like Jim Tomei. Again, I'm not going to reach the hitters that high. Unfortunately, a lot of the concept this year seems to be based
Don't let it get to you.
this guy's really good against this one side. Attributes can only be so high. And some of these guys, a lot of left-handers, that is their game. That's the nature of things. They're really good against righties. He's got 60 contact against lefties. Or Rafi Palmeiro, the same could be said. Running a platoon within your lineup is but I can't play for that team. And we're looking at overall value. First base, again, I think there's lots of good players that you can get. Bottom tier there again, but the best is best. Second base is a little bit different. I think this is a lot more because we haven't had that one guy who come out as the guy. I think there's 4 I put on Esprit, Brian Joseph, good defensive, second base, and shortstop. Those in the infield are the 2 positions I really care about because it's deep in the hole. You've got chances to go make that super dive. I'm going to value high if you're tall like an NBA Cruz. If you play with that Ellie, you know what I'm talking about. He saves games for you with hitting the R2 button. And just how good the action is make or break in some of these games, especially once you get on lower difficulties where lots of balls are being put into play. On the very higher difficulties where you might see a dozen plus strikeouts in any given day because it's harder to hit on legend GOAT difficulty. Lower difficulty fielding really matters. Otherwise, balls are going to keep falling through the gaps and you're going to get frustrated. What do they say? A bloop and a what? A bloop and a blast. And that is what kills you. Dozier's got really good defense. Brian Roberts does not. Caminero does not. But, again, it's sort of a balance of things. It's a 93. You can only get so high. Dozier, I like. He's got good power, still pretty good contact. Brian Roberts, he's probably the most common second baseman I see at like 800, 900 level. He's good. Switch hitter, hits both sides. Not the best defensively, like I said, but it's what it is. Caminero was even worse defensively, but he's even better offensively. I love the gold card. I got a chance to pick this one up. He's killer. discipline. So all those attributes are going towards the meat, the content, the power, the stuff that really matters. To tell my kids, a lot of these World Series again do come off the fact they really need an inside edge bluff to get them to the top of their abilities. He's got the foot, he's got a good swing, he's still one of the best second basemen. 8 years. There's a lot of guys Hasn't started not much. Apparently, he's really good. I love Justin Turner's swing. I don't think he's got all the torque that he should have based off when this card would have been for the Dodgers, but he's got some pretty damn good offensive attributes. If you're struggling to find somebody, if you just started, maybe try and look at this. You can get the Evo card from the new XP pack on Rewind.
Live from a place that has
20,
quite
30
the
minutes.
reputation, Ship It
We've
Stadium.
got Royce
We've
Lewis,
got
Mark
Diamond
Bianco,
Dynasty
2 more color
baseball
short
tonight.
faces.
It's
The
Long Island
X-Man,
taking
David
on
Bogart. The
Oklahoma
power
City.
on this card is not normal for him.
All right,
Rafi
we'll be
Devlin.
back to get this one
Card's
started
just
after
getting a little bit
this.
outplaced at this point. There's lots of good offensive third basemen and lots of good bad defensive third basemen as well. There's a reason why the Red Sox put him at 2 games. We'll see if he ever moves to
Just
first.
about to get
See
underway.
here, we've got
And
some guys
on the hill,
Nolan
Nolan Ryan.
Leading off.
his whole
This
plan
guy,
is
he's
the
got some
defense on
options
this
to work
card.
with in terms of keeping
guy.
hitters
He
off
was,
balance. So we'll see
one
how he
guy
decides
that
to
I got
utilize
him out of the
those
SC
weapons
pass,
through this start
back
here. And
early
whether
on,
or not
and I
he's
just
able
don't
to mix them all in
don't
early,
think
or if he
time
wants to
is
hold
not
something
making this
back a
play
little bit
with
later,
the
maybe
hope
second,
that
third time
someone
through the
can
order,
get that high
and
grade
give them
would.
something they haven't
And
seen.
I just
It's
didn't
tough
know
when you know a
exactly
guy's got that in his back pocket. As a hitter,
like a
you
Matt
really
Shaw
have to stay on your
might have
toes.
used at third base a little bit. Maybe like
Cuts on it and misses. That's a strikeout.
Yeah,
The high
front,
heat, too much on that one.
Jones,
And the batter now is Rhys Hoskins.
Because he's so cheap.
Swing and a miss. 0-1.
Boom, watching a pitcher on the mound who can do it all. Ryan has one of the best fastballs we've ever seen, and he's as durable as they come. Nobody strikes out batters like the Ryan Express.
Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row.
batting third, the third baseman.
2 outs, base is
Jose
empty. And now it's switch hitting third baseman Jose Ramirez. Fouled off left side. 2 outs, base is empty. That one a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Just missed.
What's a good pitch there? Really had some run and finished a little up and in, just on the edge. And that's one of those, if you swing at it, hit a broken bat as you jog back to the dugout.
The 3-1. That's ball 4. Tried another fastball, but missed the spot.
I don't think he really wanted to pitch to him right there anyhow.
Man at first. Now the left fielder, Jason Dominguez. That one in triple digits. Dominguez goes 5 feet 9 inches, batting in the cleanup spot, and he was born in the Dominican Republic. Next offering is in for a strike.
I mean, that's perfect location, right on the bat. I mean, over and over again, this guy demonstrates the ability to hit those spots. They're so tough to do anything with as a hitter.
Swing and a miss, struck him out, and he's registered 3 Ks in this one. Back here with my pal Singy, and towing the slab here, Tarek Skubal. What do we have on him?
Great sinker. Although it's not his primary pitch, it's really a pitch that he can go to, misses the barrel of the bat, gets ground balls, and lets the defense work behind him.
He's got a little bit less power. He's got.
Here's Joe Adele. We talk about guys with good speed, and definitely he has it. But pushing the offensive side for just a second, Chris, it's the defensive side that I think the speed factors in the most.
Certainly still
Next pitch is in the dirt, and that is ball 1.
Well, he gets to balls that get by most people at that position. Just really impressive because there's certain times the ball comes off the bat, automatically that team that hit it thinks that they've got a base hit or they may have extra bases, and he just takes it away.
And that's off the inside edge. Ball 2. And that's outside.
That is why you got to I hit for the 900 OPS.
Swing and a ball drilled center field. Anthony settles underneath it, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Here comes Corey Seager.
Third baseman, Corey Seager.
And a strike right through there. That one in triple digits.
Like I said,
that one misses, and that's ball one.
Really popular song. You can still play.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike two. One out, bases empty. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout. Stepping in, Scott Rowland.
Personally,
and first offering is fouled off. High fly ball, and that one curling foul down the right side. That misses, and the count is 1-2. Battling here as he fouls it away. Swings and misses, and a nice inning of work there as he sets him down 1-2-3. And welcome back to the ballpark. And now it's Juan Soto. Ryan, back to work.
There's no way around it. Soto is one of the most exciting players in baseball. His hitting skills are so advanced, you'd think he played in Major League Baseball in a different life or something.
Swing and a miss. There's that changeup. Grounder off the pitcher. Safe at first, and now we'll check on the right-hander. Hope he's all right. Now it's the DH, James Wood. Pitches in there. That's strike one. Swings for the fastball up in the zone.
Don't play situation here. He's been working up in the zone. Typically, you're for guys to get that ground ball. See if he adjusts on this next pitch.
Bo Naylor at the plate now. That one fouled off. Soto leads off first with one away. Fouled off. He was late.
J.P. Crawford, super underrated. He's in the middle season.
And 1-2.
Really good take, especially with two strikes.
Foul ball left side. He'll see another. Man at first, one away. Pulls the string with the changeup. Struck him out. Here's O'Neal Cruz. Off the mark there. 1-0.
People like that story.
The shortstop takes the ball. Second inning here, no score. That one's spoiled, and they count now 2-1. A little out front there as he swings through it.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Fans another, and that's 3 straight strikeouts. And we're back. Kyle Schwarber comes up to hit here.
The catcher, Kyle Schwarber.
And that's it for a strike. Late on that fastball.
Love to see it. Power versus power right there.
Swing and a miss and a changeup in the dirt. Up with it, fires to first. Got him. One away on the strikeout. Here's Bogarts now.
You're best when you let the game come to you. Tried to make too much happen right there. Not his best at bat.
One down, base is empty. Line and a base hit into right. So digging in, Ryan Dozier. Swing and a miss. There's the slider. And it's 0-1. Swings through that one for strike 2.
I wouldn't throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
Swing and a miss. The velocity blasted it right past him. And now Adam Dunn got it started a little too early. Strike 1.
0-1.
probably have them up to 5 or.
Next pitch is outside.
That was absolute gas. Triple digits on the gun. It's just a different experience.
Ah, that's strike 3 and the 3rd out. So we take a break.
A little bit below, or a lot of it below that front. Right part. Byron Buxton for McNeil, James Wood, and Kendrick Jr. The Harper, I love so far.
Well, here we go. Top of the 3rd, scoreless game. Here's the center fielder, Roman Anthony.
One of my favorite swings in MLB the history. Every live series, Carter's played really well.
Swing and a miss at 100 miles an hour. Towards first. He steps on the bag and one away in the top of the 3rd. Back to the top of the lineup. Here's the second baseman, Cody Clemens.
81 arm out of the box.
Delivers a pitch in for a strike at 95. Outside with a breaking ball.
I was honestly
1-1.
of whether or not it was worth getting him because.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2.
1-2.
Top of the 3rd, no score.
Also, so he's towards the top, he's center field primary. If you've got Sheltra, you probably have Buxton in center because.
And a swing and a miss. Make it 7 strikeouts for him. And it's
Buxton can't because he doesn't have as much as Beltran. Corbin Carroll. Really good card.
Reese Hoskins up to the dish. He was a strikeout victim his first time.
I really did enjoy him. Pretty much every game.
Swing and a miss as he was out front.
It's 0-1.
Super fast, of course, pretty good defense.
Hoskins pushes it foul.
All the way around, great power righty. James Wood. It's not the licensed card spot.
And the 0-2. Swings and misses on the fastball up in the zone for the strikeout.
That can be a little tough sometimes to utilize.
Set for the bottom of the 3rd, and now it's Wilmer Flores.
I haven't used that card a ton quite yet.
That one in triple digits.
Again, you're looking for options at this point. You just don't have that many.
Swing and a drive, deep right field. Soto going back. Just missed it. Now at the plate, James Wood. And there's a strike.
Okay, swing now. He had his mind made up. As soon as that ball left the hand of the pitcher, he was going to swing at it.
Late on that fastball.
0-2.
Swing and a miss. Had him out front for the strikeout.
Now batting.
Joe Adell digs in now. Fly to center his first time.
If you play this ballpark, you are really going to pay the consequence.
Swing and a foul. Pushed off to the right, and that will get out of play.
44 reaction, 46. That is dog.
Just missed.
Had some cut action to it. Velocity pretty good on that slider. So far, moving the ball around nicely.
In the air, right side, Soto. And makes the grab. And that ends the inning.
Obviously, it's not how good offensively he is. Definitely you choice. That's a what ballpark do you play at choice. I don't think you make that.
Out of the 4th, here's the 3rd baseman, Jose Ramirez.
Jose Ramirez.
Late swing, foul to the left. Trinan in his 11th season, 36 years old, and he was drafted in the 7th round back in 2011. The 1-1. Swing and a foul back. That's out of play. Sets him down on strikes. That was pretty nasty. Jason Dominguez will hit next. Struck out swinging his first time. Right through there for a strike. Next offering is fouled back. Way outside, and the count 1-2. 4th inning underway, no score. Oh, great stop. Jump throw. And he's safe at first.
Well, they found himself behind in the count right there, but he didn't give in. And now let's see if they force some action with good wheels on the bases.
Yeah, that's fouled off. This one chopped on the ground, but foul. Swing and a miss, struck him out. James Wood, the next to hit.
3-pitch strikeout last time up. Got to put up more of a fight in this one.
And that misses. Ball one.
1 ball, no strikes.
Went with the sweeper for the strike. And that one misses up and in. And the count 2-1. And he beats it. He's safe.
Couldn't have timed it up any better than that. Off the bat, that one registered at 105 miles per hour, man. That is smoking, and these days you hear it all the time, but the numbers just don't lie. If you can drive a ball like that, more often than not, you're picking up a knock.
Strike 2, and there's a real chance they get out of this without allowing a run. Not close with that one. And the count 1-2. And the sweeper misses for a ball. Swing and a miss, and that is that.
That really means a lot defensively.
And welcome back to the ballpark. Ready to go, bottom 4. Now the number 2 hitter, Corey Seager. Swings through that one out in front that time.
You know, this group of hitters, to put it bluntly, need to put together more competitive at-bats, and I don't think they've lived up to their own expectations at the plate. Strikeouts are a little easier to stomach in baseball today, but even by those standards, they're going down way too often, and I think they're having a hard time getting any momentum going as a result.
Now, Scott Rowland squirts away a little bit, and the runner stays where he is. And here it comes. And that one fouled off.
Pretty good pitch to take a pass at in a 1-0 count. Just not able to square it up.
On the ground left side, 6, 4, 3. And they turn the double play. And Kyle Schwarber will come up.
Huge sigh of relief right there. Big time pitching to induce the double play. Erase what could have been the go-ahead run.
0-1.
Swing and a miss as he was out front that time. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And he's up to 7 strikeouts.
If it's in the case of a Peter Armstrong, but again, that's why I cannot afford to have such bad defenders.
And we're back.
But that's my choice. Christian Yelich got a really good swing. A lot of people love him. Mike Stanton or Giancarlo Stanton, depends on what year we're talking. Not great vision.
The batter will be the shortstop, O'Neal Cruz.
Hater.
Probably more of a DH. He's not a big shot in this house.
First pitch just misses.
So O'Neal Cruz is named after Paul O'Neill. That was his father's idol in baseball, so he named his son O'Neal. In 2022, they finally met each other when the Pirates played the Yankees in New York, and I'm sure that was a moment that O'Neal Cruz will never forget.
Struck him out swinging. Tied him up on a fastball inside. And now Roman Anthony out in front with the swing, and that is strike 1.
Gonna really need to hang in there with that front side against this left-handed breaking ball.
Swing and a miss. And the count is 0-2. Got him. And there's 2 away. Now it's the second baseman, Cody Clemens. And he swings and misses, and it's 0-1.
So hard to touch mean, at the top of the zone, 99, 98, even 97. As pitchers do such a good job of teasing that part of the zone, just elevating a little bit. It looks good because you see it for a good while as a hitter. Looks juicy, and by the time you swing, it's almost in the catcher's mitt.
Next pitch is outside. 2 down, nobody on, and we're at the top of the 5th. Swing and a miss for the strikeout, and he strikes out the side in the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Now here's Xander Bogaerts now. Skubal back to work. And a foul ball.
Well, these players just aren't putting great swings on the baseball in this one. They're trying to find ways to drive the ball with some authority, but it's just not happening for them so far. 0 extra base hits in the game, so it's been tough for them to get anything going.
That misses the zone. Going to count 1 and 2.
Sometimes you have to keep chipping away until you break through, but it's a lot easier to put runs on the board when you have runners in scoring position because they put themselves there.
Here's the second baseman, Ryan Dozier. A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1.
Man, 91 on the slider right there. That's a hard one. That's a lower fastball for some pitchers.
And now the count is even.
1 and 1.
Swings through that one.
He has a tendency to chase out of his zone, and that slider that's down, that's one of his money pitches to get that swing and miss.
See ya! Strikes him out for the second time today. Here's the left fielder, Adam Dunn. Struck out looking his first time. And it's fouled away. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
Quickly in an 0-2 count, you've got to figure out a way to shorten your path to the baseball. Put it in play somewhere, then you got a chance.
And that's downstairs. Now 1 and 2. Got him looking, and he strikes out the side for the 3rd time today.
You're so good. As close as you can possibly get to the guaranteed free win.
All set for the top of the 6th. Rhys Hoskins to the plate.
Randy Johnson.
A changeup missing, and it's 1-0. And the slider just misses.
Struggled a little bit in this one. Couple of strikeouts earlier, but doing a much better job in this at bat to get ahead and find a good hitter's count in 2-0.
Make it 4 strikeouts in a row, just cruising along. Here's Jose Ramirez. That one out to right. Wood has a beat on it. Corrals it. 2 down. Digging in is the switch-hitting outfielder, Jason Dominguez. Swings through that one for strike 1.
He's going to have to make sure that he stays patient because he is the focal point in that lineup. They're going to pitch him tough. They're going to pitch around him. And when he doesn't see other guys doing anything, what you can do is become a little too aggressive and chase out of the zone.
Swing and a miss at 96. Struck him out. And good work there. And welcome back to the ballpark. Bottom of the 6th inning. And now the first baseman, Wilmer Flores. Little chopper rolls foul. Swing and a tapper that rolls foul. Fights that one away, and the count remains 0-2. Another one. That's 5 straight strikeouts. James Wood now at the plate. 0 for 1. He struck out swinging last time. That's off the inside corner, and that's ball 1. And that's in the dirt.
Not showing great command so far in this at-bat. 2-0 count. He's got to execute here, or this could get ugly.
Now 3-0.
3-0.
Swinging a foul out of play. All tied up here in the bottom of the sixth. That one the other way. Now a jump throw. And he beats the throw. Shows off the wheels right there. An infield single. So the batting order turns over. Joe Adell getting ready to hit. In there at the knees. And that is strike one. And that one is lifted in the air. And no one can run it down. Here comes Wood around third. He'll score easily.
Well, he gets it done in a big spot to get the run across. That was maybe even a little off the plate, but no problem getting the barrel to it. Man, he does such a nice job. That's what you're supposed to do with a pitch in that location.
Dominguez settles under it and makes the catch. And there's two down. Next is the designated hitter, Scott Rowland. 0 for 2 in this one. That one lifted to left. Dominguez settles under this one. He's got it. That is the inning. And we're back. We go to the top of the seventh.
World Series hitter Martinez. We talked about John Donaldson, Carrick, and Nate Pearson. These still, if you guys are loving these pitchers, don't stop using them. Who cares what our
Here's Juan Soto.
Eric Youngay.
The pitch behind with that swing. It's strike one.
It's 0-1.
Swing and a miss. He was late. Strike two.
0-2.
Strike three. Got him swinging. That's the first out, the top of the seventh. And now the DH, James Wood. Up and in, and that's ball one. Gagne, 28 years old, and he was born in Canada. Now 1-1.
1-1.
Swing and a miss. There's the changeup. Trying to hold a one-run lead here in the top half of inning number 7. Finishes him off at 103. Here's the catcher to hit, Bo Naylor. Bottom of the zone and a called strike.
0-1.
And that skips into dirt. On the ground, and it finds its way through for a hit. And the tying run is on base. O'Neal Cruz will hit next. That one misses. Ball one.
Well, with the tying run at first base, he's looking for something he can get a lot of barrel on, drive it into a gap, and score that run from first base.
1-1.
And he swings over the top there.
If you're a base runner, you've got to stay dialed in here. Look for anything in the dirt.
Well, looked at the fastball for strike 3. Set for the last half of the 7th. And now the catcher comes up to him. Kyle Schwarber.
They don't always play like it on the dime to dime. Okay.
Now on the bump, Dennis Santana.
Just trying to keep this one close here, and this is where a bullpen can give their players a chance to fight back into the game.
First offering misses badly for ball one. On the ground at first, and that's just foul. And a 1-1. And there's a foul ball. That misses. 2-2.
2-2.
Swings through that one. It's a strikeout. And here is Xander Bogaerts. Foul ball there. The shortstop takes the ball. Base is empty, one away. Here at the bottom of the 7th. Swing and a miss, and he got him. Coming out of the bullpen and throwing beatings. So 2 down now, and here is Ryan Dozier, who's 0 for 2 with a pair of strikeouts. Look out, almost got him upstairs.
Straighten him up a little bit.
Very good pitcher. You see a good bit on
swing and a miss, strike 1.
1-1.
And that one off the outside edge.
I believe double outlier. Dennis Eckersley.
There's the swing and a miss.
Well, and those hitters count sometimes can be a little too aggressive, and a good pitch.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. And he strikes out the side in the 7th.
Sheer control that he's got. Really great for nines once again. And the funky mechanics, Darren O'Day always is a tough guy to hit off of. Eric Gagne, I don't love his start.
Ready to begin the 8th. And now the center fielder, Roman Anthony. Gagne back to work. And that's in for a strike. 1-on-1 on the gun, swing and a miss.
2 strikes.
And now 1-2. Stays alive. Looking to get the tying run on base. Strikes him out with 100. Now it's the second baseman, Cody Clemens. First pitch doesn't find the zone. Swing and a miss.
He's had a tough day at the plate. 3 strikeouts already. It's hard not to think negative, but you got to find a way to somehow center up the baseball and put it in play.
1-2's the count.
Here's a 1-2. Pumping serious gas at 102 on that one. And here is Hoskins. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Pitch misses. Ball 1. Swing and a ground ball up the middle. Sends it to Flores, and it's a 1. Ready for the bottom of the 8th. Now the left fielder, Adam Dunn. And a big swing and a miss.
0 balls, 1 strike.
Well struck right field. And it one-hops the wall. Makes the turn and heads for second. The throw to second is offline.
All over that one right there. That ball was drilled 106 off the bat, and that's the kind of feedback that tells you you're right where you want to be.
Now pitching.
Andres Munoz comes on now.
And this could be a pretty critical point in this game. They're hoping he's the guy to keep him within striking distance.
Flores in the box here. Lets that one go for a ball. There's a strike. Dunn stands at second with no outs. Fastball for a strike.
1-2.
Cuts and misses. It's a strikeout. Now it's the right fielder, James Wood. 1 for 2. First pitch, not close. Munoz. He's kind of a prototypical bullpen arm in today's game. Electric stuff that results in a ton of strikeouts in a tough spot like this. That is a big-time benefit. That one in triple digits.
As a hitter, when a guy like this comes into the game, you feel like he's standing on top of you, and it's just attack mode coming right at you, expecting to get a swing and miss.
Strikes him out with 102. So up next, Joe Adell. Got to be careful with a slugger like this because he can turn it into a 3-run game in the blink of an eye.
0-1.
And it's strike 2.
No balls, 2 strikes.
And a swing and a miss. That K is his 3rd of the game.
Big here we got Oldie Miller, the hobo, still up in every now and then. He's getting a little more hittable for some people.
All set to start the ninth.
Funky mechanics, but he's a lot of fun to use. John
Ninth in this one. And now, Jose Ramirez. Swing and a miss. That one at 99. And that's strike 1. That's inside.
1 ball, 1 strike.
And a count 1-2. And a foul ball, he stays alive.
We're getting up there in power through the over the extent. And it's only going to
Fouls it off, still 1-2.
Dropping on next Friday. You've got the double 30-plus card series collection plus World Pack. Mumbo jumbo.
And that one is inside.
Man, oh man, I don't know how you take that pitch. That's as close as it gets.
Count is full.
That one missed. Fouls it back with 2 strikes.
Quite the matchup we're seeing here. 6 foul balls in this at bat alone. Really making him work out there.
Swing, and that one's hammered. Deep drop. Way back there. He'll take a jog around the bases. It's 1-1. So now it's the 4-hole hitter, Jason Dominguez. And that's way high. 1-0.
Always exciting to see a leadoff home run in an inning. Kind of gets the offense fired up, and you start to expect a big inning.
Nobody on, nobody out with a run in here at the top of the ninth.
Yeah.
Late with the swing there.
2-1's the count.
Next pitch
No,
is
that's
outside.
the ball.
And there's a strike.
Count is full.
Foul. We'll see another payoff pitch. Right side. And that chance handled. Now 1 gone in the ninth.
Good slider inside right there. Batter fighting to get there, just rolled over and got the ground ball.
Soto at the plate and takes high there. Tap foul at the plate. 1 down, base is empty. And fouled off. And he couldn't hold back. He's run up on strikes. James Wood digs in now. 1 for 3. And the first offering is not close. And another ball.
Well, they gave up the home run earlier in this inning, not pitching as aggressively here.
That one finds the zone, and it's 2-1 now.
Wow, just a beautiful backdoor slider right there. If you've got any chance of hitting that pitch, you have to.
Fastball to letters, frozen for strike 3. And welcome back to the ballpark. Now the third baseman, Corey Seager. Ball 1 there.
Ball. 1 ball, no strikes.
Swing and a miss. That one at 1-0-1. Way out front for strike 2.
Clearly he was sitting on a fastball right there and just ended up out in front of the slider. Hey, you can't fault him for his commitment. Now he's just going to have to battle with 2 strikes.
Got him swinging. Scott Rowland now at the plate. 0 for 3. Josh Hader gets handed the rock out of the pen.
And we all know about his slider. It's just filthy, man. And one of the better ones in the game, I'd say. Spin rate's very high, and it just breaks a ton.
And that is out of play. All tied up. We're in the last half of the 9th inning. Swings and misses. Struck him out. Now a chance for Kyle Schwarber. Swing and a pop-up in foul ground. Ramirez makes the play, and it's out number 3.
Definitely appreciative of him. Let's get going, man. We got to do a reverse. Oh, God. Okay. Wait, first we got to make.
And we're back. We're in extras here. Here's the catcher, Bo Naylor.
Would be normally. So we got to do reverse here. So Jake Berger by leadoff. Kenley Jansen second. Williams. Oops.
Naylor. Now pitching.
Okay, and then we got to do
Kimbrel.
And he blows that one by him at 100. 100.
As a pitcher, you know the runner on second is ready to push things with his speed. A base hit is probably going to be a big run, so you really have to execute on the mound.
And now 2-1.
2-1.
Next offering misses down and away.
3-1.
Man at second. Blows the high heat past him. That's a strikeout. O'Neal Cruz getting ready to hit. 0 for 3 in this one. Swing and a miss. Strike one.
No balls. 1 strike.
98 at the knees, and he couldn't connect.
0-2.
1 out. The go-ahead run is at second. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. And he's gone for the 4th time tonight. Roman Anthony, the next to hit. 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a ground out. First offering misses badly for ball 1. Strike 1.
1-1.
And a count 1-2.
Well, he knows they don't want to give him anything to hit, but when you've got opportunities,
Swing and a miss. He's ready to go for the last half of the inning. Here's Xander Bogaerts. Swing and a miss as he chases that one darting out of the zone.
0-1.
Base hit. Throw comes in, and the winning run stops 90 feet from home. Nobody out. So runners at the corners, nobody out. Here's the second baseman, Ryan Dozier. 3 strikeouts already. He's 0 for 3. So here comes the big lefty, Aroldis Chapman, to the mound. He has a great slider with tons of movement. In there at the knees for a strike. Swings through that.
he's falling behind in a huge spot, but we've got to do what it takes to come through. Maybe choke up on the bat a little bit, spread out those feet, whatever it takes.
Trying to punt his way on. In comes the winning run, and they walk it off in extra innings.
Suck.
Let's stay away from the safety.
And your finals.
So it appears, it appears that this isn't working well. It appears that knuckleballs just aren't what they used to be. This motherfucker is scalping my penis into shreds. Jesus, relax, bro. It's just a game. Oh, that's just the best. Did I say let's get a no play when there's literally 2 outs? I'm on bars right now, cuz. That sucks. Let's go. We're gonna go. Come on. Yeah, we're locked in now. I took my control freak off of my swinging stick now. Am I trash? Am I trash, you guys? Please. Please go. That's 2 of them in 2 innings. Me. Oh, we got him right where we want him, mother. Here, let's go, man. Got him. Yeah! What I'm talking about, man. I know this mother, man. Let's go. Let's get some runs. If I don't hit a home run here, I'm... You? What the f*** is wrong with my swings right now, man? That's a ball. Yeah, let's get on base, baby. Let's go. Kyle, suck a dick, bitch. That's his 2nd strikeout. Go to Hades, brother. Yo, what's good, boys? We are another MLB show.
First pitch coming at you right after the break.
I'm going to update my top 50 players in the game.
Just about ready to go on the hill here today. Will Warren. How about a report on him, Chris?
He has great stuff, Boog, but what I love most is his drive. You know, when he takes the ball, he's going to give you everything he's got and try to pitch deep into the ball game. He's a true competitor, which makes it easy for his teammates to play hard for him. We're not going to see him take many pitches off, I can promise you that.
Swing and a miss, and that one missed by a ton.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, the 1-2 misses to even the...
So, first card, Beltran. S tier. Let me just rename these real quick. There we go. So, renamed. So, Beltran, definitely top 10. The best card in the game. The most valuable card in the game because he brings elite center field defense with one of the best swings, and he's a switch hitter. So, you know, he will probably be number 1 until we get like a 99 Chipper Jones, 99 Babe Ruth. Like, it's going to take a 40 card just to play. So, really good round from the bottom here. Murphy, I think he's top 50 now. Honestly, he barely
fights it off. He'll see another.
From the Scotland list, I don't know that Murphy is a more offensive 50 Scott that has a better swing, better quirks. It just kind of gives you what you want. You want more outfield defense and some bats. That's why I like 50 Scott more than PCA. Or do you want, you know,
Countful.
Defense, way better swing, way better quirks, and it's Murphy. Has aura. He plays really good.
Bunts it towards the mound. And he'll be safe at first. Dansby Swanson stands in. You talk about elite defensive players, especially in the middle of the diamond, and this guy is at the top of the list. 1-0 in the dirt, but kept close to second, and he's out.
When you try to move up on a ball in the dirt, you've got to be sure that it gives you enough time to make it safely. Guess wrong, like we saw here, and you'll pay the price.
Up the middle, and Swanson is set down.
When you look at the ability to save runs defensively, but then also put runs up on the scoreboard, that's the kind of player that every championship team needs to have.
Seiya Suzuki stands in here. Tried to hold back his swing there, but went around. And he's down 0-2 as he swings through it.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Swing and a miss. Curveball in the dirt. Throw to first. Got him. Inning over on the strikeout.
We've got a lot of pitchers together. I think him and Dustin May are pretty similar, where a lot of people just like Dustin May because of
back at Yankee Stadium. On the hill here today, Jack Leiter.
It's always interesting to see how he utilizes all of his pitches and how many of those he has a good feel for on that given day. When he's right, he's really able to keep hitters guessing, and all of his stuff seems to be coming out of the same arm slot, the same tunnel, and that can make life very difficult on his opponents.
Now it's the second baseman, Cody Clemens. Sliced hard, but foul down the left side. That's down and in.
That's a really good take right there. Slider down and in. Very difficult to get on the same plane and do anything with.
And a foul ball.
Personal bias, top 30, I think.
And a pitch.
Ball 2.
Fouled off the plate. They'll do it again.
I would throw him another breaking ball. Try to go again with the fastball, slightly elevated. He just is having a hard time catching up.
You know, if he gets a roster update for how many home runs he's farming right now, we could be talking, being probably not better than Josh. Definitely better than Yoshida. I think Yoshida's swinging.
Lugo snags it, and there's one down. And it's Rhys Hoskins up to the dish. Here's something to watch, Singy. He's got the best OPS on the team. He can hurt you. And a breaking ball misses outside. One out, base is empty. Hoskins pushes it foul.
Abrams, probably top 20 guard, but like everybody that uses them is crazy with them. Most people have them.
And that's a base hit. So a man aboard now with one away.
He was all over that one. Against good pitchers, you got to take advantage of the mistakes. That was right in his wheelhouse, and he didn't miss a stitch.
Now it's Jose Ramirez in the dirt. This one in the dirt. On the ground is short, could be two. There's one. Double play. What a twin killing to end the inning. Back at Yankee Stadium, now here is Vinny Pasquantino. Warren back to work. Got it started a little too early. Strike one. Hit in the air out to center field. Anthony puts it away for the out. One down. And here's the catcher, Logan O'Hoppe. Swings and misses, went with the sweeper. No score here in the second. Swing and a miss. That is strike two.
Well, he's been aggressive right out of the box, and a smart pitcher is going to play off of that, especially when you get to 2 strikes.
One ball.
Next offering down low and in the dirt.
I'm just going to tie him with Brian Robert, where it's like...
Swing and a miss. Pulled the string of the changeup. Jazz Chisholm Jr. now.
For me, it's just
way inside.
Player model, like 6'2" second baseman with 99 reaction and a diamond glove.
And there's a fly ball deep right field. Cannonball coming. He shoots one out to right. It's 1-0. Now it's the DH, Mike Piazza. And a swing and a miss.
0-1.
Foul ball. 2 down, nobody on. Swings through it, and that's a strikeout.
First reliever, I think he's top 40. I don't think he's dominant. I don't think he's...
Here at New Yankee Stadium in the Bronx, now it's the switch-hitting outfielder, Jason Dominguez. Swing and a miss at 100 miles an hour. Way inside, gets out of the way.
No, inside.
Those are the guys that really stand out to me and really make their mark in the
Lugo makes the grab, and there's one away. Juan Soto now. He's a guy who does it all. With the lack of contact in today's game, this guy hits for contact, so he delivers average, but there's on-base and slugging too.
Early in the count, you have to be real careful because of that power. But then if this hitter gets a strike or two on him, he's still very comfortable. Because he has the ability to get the barrel to the baseball, he's a threat deep into the count as well.
One down, base is empty. Ground ball right side. And that one finds its way through. Can't glove it cleanly.
Batting six, the designated hitter. Yay!
One down. Next to him, James Wood. And the first pitch misses for ball one. They stack center field. Soto round second, heads for third. And the throw's offline, safe at third.
Back-to-back singles. Everything was on time and fluid in that swing. Got a pitch.
Honestly, same for Danny.
He could get the barrel on and lined it into center for the knock. Those always feel good.
Now it's going to be Bo Naylor. Chisholm over to second for one, and that's all they'll get.
Well, they tried for the inning double play right there, but that high chopper kind of slows everything down and makes it hard to turn too. Trail runner hustling down the first base line. That also allows that runner from third to score. Really nice job all the way around by the offense.
In the dirt, blocked. 2 gone, but the go-ahead run is at first. Bottom half of inning number 2. Next offering is in for a strike.
Ball game is still tied. They can get out of this inning with a tie game.
Swing and a miss, and he chases that one in the dirt. In time, the 2-3 strikeout ends the inning.
He's a card where, like, you know, I'm
back in the Bronx, top half of the third inning. Here's the third baseman, George Brett. A swing and a miss as he chases way out of the zone. And a swing and a miss there. Up the middle, Clemens. Throw off line, he's safe. And a nice job there to keep it from getting away.
No problem beating out the infield hit right there. Good hustle getting down the line. Really protecting with 2 strikes right there. Pitch wasn't even close, but man, he got the barrel to it somehow. Nice job.
To second, and he's out. Misses the zone, and he gets him to chase. Tied up here in the early going. Squares, pushes at it, misses it. It's a strike. 1 and 2. In the dirt. Gets to it on the first. Out on the drop third strike. 2 gone. So digging in, Pete Crow Armstrong. Bunting for a hit, he pops it up. Warren hauls it in to end the inning.
This is good, if not better. Has really good courts the same way Byron does. I think it's just kind of swing preference at that point. James Wood. Right next to Harper, where statistically he's a lot better than
Back
Harper.
for more from the Bronx. Bottom of the inning. Here's the center fielder, Roman Anthony. Oh, that got away from him. And he's going to reach on a hit by pitch to lead off the inning. So the lineup flips over. Here's the second baseman, Cody Clemens. Throw to second, not in time. He's there easily. In the dirt. Well done behind the dish. Man at second. And downstairs. That one missing inside.
First pitch strike from the pitcher, but then no panic at all by the hitter. Very patient, showing good discipline. Now he's in the driver's seat with the 3-1 count.
Got him. Swing for the strikeout. Some high cheese for strike 3. And here's the first baseman, Rhys Hoskins. Outside low. And it's 1-0. In the dirt, but kept close. Strike 3, and that's 2 in a row. So the go-ahead run in scoring position. Jose Ramirez digs in now. Swings and misses, and one down below the zone.
Good pitch right there. Anytime you can get one by a bat of this caliber, especially with runners on, it's got to give you some confidence.
He takes it himself to the bag, and that'll do it.
don't know if any of you guys are really
Back in New York, and here comes Dansby Swanson.
The shortstop, Dansby Swanson.
Way high there, and that is ball one.
See me if you want. I think Jeter goes up.
Swings through that one.
Probably the best one we have seen. Throwing it where he wanted to, have a nice tight spin to it, and a teaser just off the edge of the plate.
2 straight.
And that bunt goes foul. It's a strikeout. And now the right fielder, Seiya Suzuki. He's 0 for 1. And misses inside.
Well, here's a fun fact for you, Boog. Suzuki is the first Japanese-born player to homer in 3 consecutive plate appearances in the majors. Feel free to use that note in your next Cubs broadcast, buddy.
Down to the dirt, swing and a miss.
Well, he went inside a couple of times, and now outside. Hitter's not exactly sure where to look for this next pitch.
Got him. So he picks up his 6th strikeout of the ball game. Vinny Pasquantino will hit next. First pitch swinging.
Spin rate's outstanding on that high fastball. Really tough to hit.
That's outside, and it's a ball and a strike. Warning track, wall, and you can touch them all, baseball man. And they jump ahead in the 4th. It's 2-1. Base is empty with 2 away. And here is Logan O'Hoppe. Swings and misses. Strike 1. 2 outs, base is empty. And that one fouled off. And 1-2.
2 straight.
Swing and a miss. And he's down on strikes. Picks up strikeout number 7. Back in the Bronx, bottom 4, digging in is the switch hitting outfielder, Jason Dominguez. Swing and a miss.
0-1.
Now pop up on the infield. And there's one down. Here's Juan Soto. 1 for 1 with a single so far.
Soto.
That one in the dirt, and that's ball 1. Fouled off. He was late. Home team down a run. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. Next pitch is outside. Ripped to third and picked on a hop. The throw, and very nicely done for the out. So now here's the DH, James Wood. Pitch misses inside, ball 1. And that gets the top of the zone for a strike.
Well, he had a pretty good look at that pitch and not sure exactly what tied him up there. Couldn't pull the trigger, and perhaps the best pitch you'll see in this at-bat to hit.
Lays out and makes the play. Back now in the Bronx. Now it's the second baseman, Jazz Chisholm Jr. Warren back to work. Ball 1, no strikes.
1-0.
Josh Hader will take over here.
Bringing in the lefty with the left-handed hitter coming up to hit. Classic bullpen move right here, so we'll see how it works out. Pretty good pitch to take a pass at in a 1-0 count. Just not able to square it up.
Swing and a miss. And that is strike 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
And a swing and a miss. Now 1 away. So up next, Mike Piazza went down on strikes his first time through. Saying 4 homers in 22 games at Old Yankee Stadium. What do you remember?
Well, I remember my rookie year hitting 2 in one game. And before that game in the clubhouse, there was a gentleman there who owned a suit company there in downtown Manhattan. And he said to me, "Hey, kid, you hit a home run in the game tonight. Come over to the store tomorrow and I'll give you a free suit." So I went into the game. I happened to hit 2. When I walked into the store the next day, and he looked at me, he said, "You're trying to put me out of business, aren't you?" And that was a great experience that I had as a rookie playing against the Yankees, playing in New York.
Swing and a miss. Adam out front for the strikeout. 2 down, bases empty. Now the third baseman, George Brett. A swing and a miss, and that's strike 1. So did Super Joe give you 2 suits?
Super Joe hooked me up with 2 suits.
2 down, nobody out. And we're at the top of the 5th. Chase swing, tried to hold up. Now it appeal to third. No swing. Gary Simmons with the call. Swing and a miss, struck him out. And he strikes out the side. Back here in New York, we head to the bottom of the 5th. And now the catcher comes up to him. Bo Naylor. And strike 1 to the catcher.
He's pitching well, but not throwing a ton of first pitch strikes. Usually doesn't work out for success, but you can never predict baseball.
That's in there. That's strike 2. And a swing and a miss. Beat him with a fastball. Here's O'Neal Cruz. 0 for 1 so far. And there's a strike. Good heater at 98.
Well, I'll always remember how Cruz left his mark on Major League Baseball in his debut. 3 innings into his first game, he had the hardest throw by any infielder in baseball, the hardest hit ball all season by a Pirate, and the fastest sprint speed by a Pirate. This guy does it all.
1 down, base is empty. Hacks and misses. It's a strikeout. And now the center fielder, Roman Anthony. That one almost got him.
Oh, he's got to be pretty proud of this outing so far. Sometimes guys cower coming into a ballpark like this, but he has attacked hitters. Pitching on the road like this is very impressive. This has been a treat to watch.
Swing and a miss. And it's 1 and 2.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Swing and a ball lined out towards center. Crow Armstrong makes the grab, and that'll end the inning. Top of the 6th inning. Now here is Matthew Lugo. And a swing and a miss.
There might be time to choke up a little bit, get that front foot down early, maybe even just spread out. He's really late right now.
The 0-2. Inside, almost got him. Making 4 strikeouts in a row, just cruising along. Pete Crow Armstrong getting ready to hit. Swing and a miss as he was late that time.
Well, he threw that fastball right by him. Gives him a little bit of confidence, but in the back of your mind, you got to think, is he trying to set me up for later in this at-bat?
Now a bunt with 2 strikes, and that goes foul. It's a strikeout. 2 outs, base is empty. Swanson digs in. Not even close there. 1-0. Swanson goes 6'1", 190 pounds, a former first-round pick back in 2015. The 1-1 is fouled off. 2 outs. On the ground to third. On to first. And it's a 1-2-3 inning. Well, we go bottom 6. Here's the second baseman, Cody Clemens. Gets him to chase after that one.
And it really looks like these hitters have been in between with their timing today. Good fastball, excellent slider, but they've not been able to commit to one velocity and stay there.
Nope, just misses there.
Man, oh man, I don't know how you take that pitch. That's as close as it gets.
Swanson in plenty of time to first, and that's one out as they get the leadoff hitter in the sixth. Now the number 2 hitter, Rhys Hoskins. Clips the corner. That's strike one.
Man, this guy's got a great feel for his breaking ball today.
Swings through that one for strike 2.
Just an outstanding job of spinning the baseball, moving it around, doing what he does.
Gets a piece and stays alive. Ohapi hauls it in, 2 away. Here's Jose Ramirez. 0 for 2 in this one. And a strike on the outside edge.
Backdoored him with a breaking ball. Just got the corner. There's nothing you can really do with that.
Good job to fight that one off. 2 down, nobody on.
Ball upstairs.
Pitch in the dirt, and the count's even at 2.
2-2 the count.
Goes down looking. Top of inning number 7. Now it's the right fielder, Seiya Suzuki. Andrew Miller gets the call from the pen.
Pretty tight game, so they're looking for quality pitches out of him right here. Got to do his best to keep the score right where it is.
There's a strike.
No need to offer that pitch until you get to 2 strikes. It's just a low percentage of success when you want to try to go after that down and away pitch.
Going to count 1 and 2.
0-2 pitch that far out of the zone gives the hitter a little confidence that maybe he can climb back into this at-bat.
Swing and a miss. Got him to go up the ladder for the K. Pasquantino now in the box. Comes up empty with a swing there. Swing and a miss, and he got him to chase.
That pitch started in and ended up on the outside edge. Just changing planes and very difficult, especially for a left-handed hitter to track.
In the air, center field. Anthony coming on. That'll drop in as he plays it on a hop.
Well, that certainly feels good when you can win the at-bat after being down in the count, up against it with 2 strikes right there. These days, most outfielders play pretty deep, and I'm not sure if that was a factor there or not, but off the bat, you're thinking it's going to be a pop-out, and it just kind of nestled into that spot where no one was able to get to it.
Swing and a miss, and that's strike 2.
0-2 the count.
Back foot slider ties him up, struck him out. Now it's the second baseman, Jazz Chisholm Jr. He's already homered here in this one. And a first pitch fastball is in for a strike. Swing and a miss. He was late. Strike 2.
No ball, 2 strikes.
Runner takes off. Out to center. Anthony. And that is that. Bottom of the 7th, and here is Jason Dominguez.
Notice how they're swinging too early or too late. That's a timing problem. They need to guess right on a few of those pitches, and I mean make an educated guess. Nasty backdoor slider. There's really nothing you can do with that if you swing at it, so that's a good take by him.
Yeah, that's pushed foul off to the left and out of play. Looking to get the tying run on base. Comes up empty as he chases that one in the dirt.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Swing and a ball hit out towards left center field. Makes the catch, 1 down. Juan Soto. Now at the plate, infield shifted to the pull side. Fastball for a strike.
0-1.
Yeah, that's fouled off. Holding on to a 1-run lead here at the bottom of the 7th. Liner, and this could be trouble. Soto round second, heads for third. Hung up in a rundown now. And they put the tag on him for the out. And next is the designated hitter, James Wood. That's in for a strike.
0-1's the count.
And that one upstairs, ball 1. That one hops against the fence. And the double puts the tying run in scoring position with 2 away. So run. At second, 2 down. Naylor digs in now. And ball 1. And another ball.
Well, no need to go right at this guy. First base is open. He can hurt you, so make him expand his zone. If he doesn't, give him a walk.
And a foul ball makes the count 2-1. So the tying run at second. Swinging a foul out of play.
Well, he knows they don't want to give him anything to hit, but when you've got opportunities to drive in runs, you've got to expand his zone. He's capable of going out there and doing damage with it.
Swing and a miss, and that is that. New inning getting started, and now the DH, Mike Piazza. Miller back to work. Popped up. Cruz sizes this one up. Hauls it in for the out. So digging in, George Brett, 1 for 2.
Brett.
And a swing and a miss.
Sometimes a hitter will go up there and guess, and it's not just pulling something out of the sky, but expecting because of tendencies a certain pitch in a certain location. He just guessed wrong.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out on a slider, and there's 2 gone. Matthew Lugo, the next to hit. And first offering is fouled off. 2 outs. He swings and fouls one off.
Man, this has been a real important inning in relief. I mean, so far, they've been doing a great job holding that deficit at 1.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. He's notched 4 strikeouts now. And we're back. And now the shortstop, O'Neal Cruz.
Shortstop. O'Neal Cruz. Now pitching. Zach Agno.
Misses the sweeper.
0-1's the count.
Comes up empty.
A little anxious, a little aggressive early in the count. Too much for me.
And O'Neal is struck out.
Now batting The center fielder.
So up next, Roman Anthony. He's 0 for 1. And that one fouled off. Trying to hold a 1-run lead here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Late that time, and it's strike 2.
He got away with one there, but he knows he can't go into that.
And a swing and a miss. 2 gone. Cody Clemens will hit next. 0 for 3 in this one. And the first pitch misses for ball 1. Oh, what a stop. But safe at first despite a terrific stab there. Two outs, runner at first. And now the first baseman, Rhys Hoskins. 0-1.
Well, in this situation, the hitter knows that he's got to find a pitch that he can drive in order to drive in that tying run all the way from first base. So if he can't do that, keep the line moving through a walk or just a base hit. But you've got to stay within yourself.
1 ball, 2 strikes to count.
Swing and a miss, struck him out.
Okay.
All set for the start of the inning. Here's the center fielder, Pete Crow Armstrong.
It's good speed at the top of the order here. You want to get it on, see if you can get a stolen base, maybe get around the bases and pick up a run.
Hoskins steps on the bag, and the leadoff man retired here in the 9th. And now it's Dansby Swanson. 0 for 3 with 2 groundouts and a strikeout.
Now pitching. Weaver.
Cut on and missed 96 with that fastball. Weaver, a very difficult guy to get hits off of. It's really rare for teams to string stuff together against him.
He wins every pitch, and for a hitter, sometimes a victory is just fouling off one of his pitches.
Swing and a miss, struck him out. And there are 2 down. Suzuki now at the plate as he swings through strike 1. That one missed.
Unless he beats himself, somehow can't find it, doesn't have the control command that day, you can pretty much forget about it.
As a hitter, there's even more pressure to take advantage of any mistake, right?
Yeah, and you're hoping that, somehow, some way, whether it's a hit by pitch, a walk, something bad happens, because outside of that, stuff is just too good to fail.
Into second, and he's got a double.
Been a pretty rough game at the plate for him so far. A bunch of strikeouts, so that felt good, I'm sure. There's something about pulling one down the line and shooting it through the infield that's just so satisfying as a hitter. It's just fun turning on a pitch like he did right there.
Man on second, 2 down. Out towards right center field, Anthony on the move to the gap. And that's the 3rd out. Back at Yankee Stadium, digging in, Jose Ramirez. Tap foul at the plate. One-run game, bottom 9. Runs it up to 96 to record the punch-out. And next will be the cleanup hitter, Jason Dominguez. Fought off foul. Swing and a miss.
No balls, 2 strikes.
Got it, swinging for the K. Now only 1 out remaining. And the batter now, Juan Soto. First pitch misses. And another ball.
Oh, an interesting situation. One swing, you can tie up the ball game. But if you're patient and work a walk, then you bring the game-winning run to the plate.
A 1-run lead. And the home team trying to pull it out.
Threw that fastball right by him, slightly elevated. That's a confidence boost for this guy out there on the mound. See if he continues to climb the ladder.
Agnos is just 1 strike away.
Big pitch coming right here. Last thing he wants to do is put the tying run on base, but he can't groove one either.
On the ground to Jazz. And that is the ball game. And your final score here today, 2-1. For Chris Singleton and our entire outstanding crew here at MLB The Show, I'm John Shambi saying so long.
Hey Siri, can you set an alarm for 4 a.m.?
Your alarm is set for 4 a.m. later today.